to bring in this week's flight sim news, thanks to SayIntentions. Lord Frites is here. He's going to be showing us the new Quasar from Flying Fries. Then it's over to the Miltech and Blackbird Simulation Skyraider, a preview of iniBuilds Manchester, Burning Blue Designs Wolverhampton, Orbx Klamath Falls, and Zach from MOZA is in for a chat.
Hello there.
Oh, Jesus! There's no music! It's alright, found it again. Audio! Hello and welcome to Wednesday, the middle of the week, the halftime show. The midweek shuffle. What a great start. Hope you're keeping well. You are most welcome. For tonight, we bring you this week's Flight Sim News. Ooh, all the news. It's nothing but news, and it's going to be busy. So you're very welcome in. Grab an old cup of tea or a tasty beverage, and we shall start at the very beginning. Because tonight, lads, it is flat out a fair whack of news now making the way around our beloved simulators, and we're also going to be checking out some stuff tonight. Yes, we have some software, we have some hardware, we have some Alienware, but all sorts of stuff happening now this evening. So we shall be starting off with a catch-up of all the news from this week. We also have some awesome updates from SayIntentions and on air. Then we're going to be joined by the genius that is Lord Frites. He's going to be here to talk all about the brand new release of the Flying Fries Quasar. The thing is mad and I can't get enough of it. Then we're going to be checking out Miltech Simulations in partnership with Blackbird Simulations. They've released the A-1 Skyraider. Ooh, a machine now. That thing is massive. We also have a ton of scenery. We're going to be looking at the upcoming Manchester from iniBuilds. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And I found the pub. Right, then we shall move on and we check out other things like Halfpenny, which is in Wolverhampton from Burning Blue Design. Beautiful little airport. And Klamath Falls, I was supposed to do last week, but we'll do it this week. And then Zach from MOZA, Chunky Aviation. Chunky's going to be joining us a little bit later on to talk all things MOZA. And I have the AB6 set up there now, you know, ready to rock. Right, it's going to be a busy night, but you're all very welcome in. Hope the week so far is going well. The more painting in Murph Manor, yes, and also hung a flag on me wall. Wait, can you see that? Right now? No, you can't. Oh, Jesus, don't look at me head. There's a big flag behind me camera. Right. Just to brighten up the place. And it's all kind of happening now, do you know?
Get a refund?
No, shag off, there's no refunds. But anyway, we better get to it, lads. It's very busy. Right. I'll speak quite fast. Airlock Doc is in the house. Happy Wednesday. He says, evening peoples, on tonight's news. Small Hans Murphy will tell us why super doesn't always mean super. And why Murph calls out Larry's name in the night. Jesus. Good to see you, man. CP is here. Abdul, good to see you. Spitfire RAF 100 is here in the chat. Chalks is in the house. Welcome aboard. Retriever Neil, good to see you, man. Fierce Wolf is here looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard. Vacuum is in the house. Mrs. TPHI is inverted whilst flying with skies and dolls. Would she be lurking upside down? You're very welcome in. Hermit Something, very good afternoon. Tima is in the house. Two Dogs, greetings from Wisconsin. Hello from Tipperary, hope you're well. North Coast Mike is here, good to see you, Mike. Faku, good to see you. Shuffle Shoes, shovels in. AJ John, hope you're well. Eamon 1973, indeed it is, Eamon. It is absolutely flat out busy, but we'll get through it, you know. Martel, good to see you. Creo, hello to everyone in Mayo. Steiny, the man who does things with stuff, is in the chat. Good to see you, man. Soaring AJH, man, happy Wednesday. Commander Balash is here, and happy new computer. Was it Commander Balash I saw it? I think it was. Welcome in. 98 Vulcan, hope all is well. Mech Manster's in the house. Jesus, lads, there's buttons here. The buttons. Mrs. TPHI is currently in a 50 stream inverted streak. Thank you very much indeed. Nightsep, good evening. Jimbo Stream is in the house. Welcome aboard. Malky Mac is here. 3 streams in a row. Cheers, buddy. Hope you're well. Abdul, thank you for 7 in a row. APU Inspector, good evening. Hope you're well. We are indeed halfway to the weekend, for sure. Merry Wednesday. The Impossible Face. Richie Evans is here. PH Roy says, good evening, everyone. Hope you're keeping well, Roy. A Crotty, good to see you. Memphis Ton is in the house. Welcome in. LG Dan is here. Hello. Super Ty, sup? Hope you're well, Super Typhon. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Jan Drace is here. Welcome aboard. Jesus, there's buttons. I mean, you know, it is busy. We don't have time. Jesus, we'll get to these now in a second. Sunjammer says, hi all. Tonight Murph gets lost trying to navigate Manchester's taxiways and wants what they drink in Manchester. Right, you know. Jesus, there's more of it. Stu Snape is here. A very good Wednesday. Good Wednesday to you. Yeah, that made total sense. It's good to see you, Stu. Muse Fan bursts in the door with a MOZA. Right, you know, welcome in. Good to see you. Muse Fan bought a MOZA last night. What do you mean he bought a MOZA?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Muse Fan bought a MOZA. That's all we need to say. But yes, where are we at now? We're over here, look. Gar Gaming, happy Wednesday. Bellbro, welcome in. Old Veteran 965, happy hump day. Jesus! We can't get a word in, edgeways. Right? Scott, and to all our friends in the United States of America on the eve of Thanksgiving. Welcome in, guys. Hope you're having a lovely pre-Turkey Day fast or feast. You know, bit of lubrication to oil the engine before... Jesus! I know, come here now, look. You lot. Cheek if you interrupt myself. With yourself. What's going on here? Piper, thank you very much indeed for 10 months. Jesus, Piper. Thank you very, very much indeed. Then Old Veteran jumped on the bandwagon, 59 months with a tier 2. Scott, thank you very, very much indeed. Now, Jesus. Merv has trouble saying airport name for Wolverhampton. Oh, it's Halfpenny. Not halfpenny, it's halfpenny. We have a halfpenny here. Corn Wolf is here, 31 months. Thank you very much indeed. Jesus, lads. Viper Strike, good to see you. Jamamu is here. Corn Wolf, 31 months, right? Ewald, thank you very much indeed for your 37 months. Jesus. You're very welcome in. Giaquich, Larry, cut us a talk too. You're very welcome aboard. Toto, 2495 is here. Good to see you, Toto. Jesus. Hang on, there's another one coming. I better do it. Wait. There, look. Even though I was... Jesus. You're all getting very fancy with your buttons there now, lads. I've lost me train of thought. Here we go. What's going on? It's like a hype train. Multiples. Bloody hell. Hang on, we'll get to these now. Culkin is here, good evening. As long as it's not swimwear, Murph. Wait, what? I'd look lovely in swimwear. Get a good hard mental image of that now, lads. Jay. Right. Where's this now? I might have to pick it up. The Quasar. Indeed. Wait to see this thing. Who's here now? Captain Kenobi. Good evening, sir. I hope you're well. Strap 21. Hola. Excessively salty. Welcome aboard. DCS Ducks is in the house. Good to see you, Ducks. Pieman Jim is here. Captain Cocktail, welcome in. Mr. Jingsley. Good to see you. Let me see now. I'm Pierce. Welcome in, Pierce. Now, let me see. Drake is in the house. Welcome aboard. K-Rog has subscribed for 7 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Jesus. Come on now. It's getting ridiculous. Can't get it. Can't get a word in edgeways here. There's another one. Look. It's like you're pressing them at the same time. What's going on? Thank you all very much. I don't know what to be saying, you know. There's no refunds. No, that's already spent now. I went off and I bought 1,000 M&Ms, you know, or perhaps the Starship Enterprise from Lego. I'm only saying things like this are important for one's, whatever they're called. Jesus. Now let me see. Malky, yes, many worry. Lord Frites is in the house. Good to see. We're going to be late by the time we get to you. Now let me see. Photos by Kev, good evening. Then he gifted 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, photos by Kev, well, do be sure to say thank you. He's very kind. Generosity. Robert, good to see you. Apache is here. John C, welcome aboard. CP, good to see you. Tenured, thank you very much indeed. 12 months, man. Cheers, buddy. Jeez, that was a quick year. Let me see now. There's buttons everywhere. It's raining, says Super Ty. Oh, Jesus. Mutley is here, good to see you. Lord Frites has then jumped on the wagon of band. He's gifted 10 tier 1 subs. Well, lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to Lord Frites, do be sure to say merci, monsieur. What a legend. Thank you very much indeed. Commander Balla says, yes, my new computer, testing it at the moment with a flight from Las Vegas to Dallas. Ooh, with SayIntentions traffic injection. It's purring like a cat. Unlike the cat sound effect that Cyrus scared the life out of me last night. Yes. Ewald, I also blame Murphy to have bought a AB9. Right? Steiny, Jesus. Steiny in with 10 gifted tier 1 subs. The man is a legend. Lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Frankenstein, do be sure to say thank you. Incredible support tonight. Now let me see. Energizer, good evening. It's a quiet news week. There's nothing going on. Nothing. You know, sure, we'll be finished before we even start. But anyway, Brandon Flies Planes. Good to see you, Brandon. Welcome aboard. Mr. 90 is here. Greg Gore, good to see you. TG Sims 188 has gifted 10 tier 1 subs. How many is that? 10 tier 1 subs to the community. Thank you very, very much indeed. If you just got a tier 1 sub, lads, with thanks to TG Sims, you know what to do. Call him out and say he is a legend. Jesus. Then Stu Snape, he said, no, I'll do that. Rolled up his sleeves and fired in 10 tier 1 subs. There's 10 subs for everyone. Better rename the stream, the 10 sub stream. Stu, thank you very much indeed. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub, thanks to Stu Snape, do be sure to say thank you. It's flat out or something. We'll play the Dougal song. For he has reinstalled Windows and is now working on the settings. We've all been there, Dougal. You hang in there now. It'll be grand. Zybok is calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're well. Tima, thank you very much indeed. 10 gifted tier 1 subs coming in from Tima. Thank you very, very much. And lads, if you got a tier 1 sub from Tima, do be sure to say thank you. The generosity in this place. Absolute legendages. It's not even Friday yet. Jesus. Right now. Or a can of paint for the kitchen. Oh, wait, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shh. Foxfly Studio, good evening. You're looking well. I see you've dressed for the occasion. Right. Two-way cameras, lads. It's the way of the future. Put that out of your mouth. Right now. Tarnish, happy hump day. Good to see you. Mountain Man is in the house. Man is released. Good to see you, man. Manchester has just been released. It's like I'm going off now to have a man for myself. People are, what? Mid-afternoon nap. Mid-afternoon. Be careful how you say it, right? But Manchester just got released. Brilliant. So it's no longer a preview. It's a view, right? Brilliant. Liptorius, a happy Wednesday to you. PA Troy says, today, some update for beta version 3 released. By far the best. Ooh, nice. Where is this now? Jesus, it's all happening. And the man has been released. Way to go, Murph. Right? It took Murph that long to get to the news. It's terrible bad, right? Hang on. I've to press a button over here, look. The Limbics, hope you're well, good morning. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome in, Dave. Now, let me see, Visualize is here. Alan, good to see you. Hope you're well. Black Sheep Jean, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I am thankful for the opportunity to stalk the world's greatest YouTube streamer. Oh, thank you very much indeed. Who is he? Jane, thank you very much indeed for your super chat donation. What's go? Jesus. No, come here now, look. Will someone pull up the old handbrake? It's getting ridiculous. Jesus. Kilby Montana, good to see you. Defrost is here. Flights and Max, welcome in. Yes, they're all very good and kind, and also at the same time, wild. Old veteran gifting 20 tier 1 subs to the community. Did you just see what he did? 20 of them. Jesus then, lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub, but thanks to old veteran 965, do be sure to say thank you. Legendary stuff. Look at that, what a mad start to the night. Right, well, I'm off now. That's the hard work done. Right, I'll see you tomorrow, maybe, We're going to the pub. Jesus. Lads, thank you also very, very much indeed. Very, very kind of you. And, we're busy. Also, for anyone who uses the Tobii eye tracker, right? I'm after figuring out some science. Sometimes my genius can even make the lights flicker.
Oh, jeez.
Sometimes. But anyway, do you know when you stop head tracking? If you turn off or disable head tracking, it always defaults you back to the previous view or the standard view in which you were looking. As in, if you're in the cockpit cam, you turn your head left, turn off the gadget, it moves your head back again. Well, I'm after figuring out a way to stop that from happening. Very proud of myself. And I'll show you how to do that now, right? Phantom Diablo, good evening. Hope you're well. Where is this? I'm still without a PC. Yours has been sick for 7 weeks. Oh, Jesus. We know how to turn his head, right? Do you know? I'll show you how to do it now. And don't be daft. It didn't work last night for you. No. Wait till you see it. You'll be proud of me now, right? Hang on. Look, I'll show you.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. Now, we're over here. Oh, Jesus. I was adjusting my microphone arm earlier on today. Yes, it was the upper dorsimus maximus. And I didn't realise I could tighten the gadget. I was like, it's a bit flimsy for the price, but no, there's Allen keys in which you tighten it. I learn hard, lads. But anyway, this machine here in front of us, we're going to be checking this one out in a little while. It's fascinating, it's fun, and it's funky. But they're not the letters used to describe it. There's actually 3 other F words that's... Right, we'll get into that now in a second. But what I need to do, we're going to start off, friends, with the news. So in order to do this, I need to go into me mixer. Yes, because my button over here isn't... Although, hang on. I'll press button so you don't have to. Oh, Jesus, now. Hang on. Yeah, it's a weird-looking octopus. Don't ask me. Where's me... Oh, no, that's profile, you muppet. Where is me other stream deck? There it is. So this doesn't want to work, look. Flight Sim 2024, yes. Is there no way to reload this? No? You can't reload it. Because whenever I hit the button, it's like, nah, I don't want to play. Stupid thing. So hang on, let us all just calm down and we'll fix this together. And you won't even feel it. So I'm going to quit that. Yes, quit. And we'll start it off again, right? And we have the noise of silence. Wait, what? The sound of silence behind us as we're looking straight on to this mad-looking craft, right? But as I said, we're going to check all this out here in a moment. I just want this to work so I can turn down my audio. Give it a second now, it'll work. Come on, work! I suppose if you hit the thing hard enough, Right now, find the application. Microsoft Flight Simulator, yes. Oh, that's the wrong button. Application, Flight Sim. Here we go.
Dougal, have you been drinking? I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Listen, I've just fixed it. Now, we're going to start off with the news. And, well, holy tabs on a screen, Batman. There's a bit to get to. But we'll take our time and see what happens, right? Right, so we'll start off at the very beginning. If by chance you have missed out on the last week or two of Flight Sim news, well, a major announcement came from FS Reborn. Raoul and the team joined us over in Dublin at our Dublin meetup, where he showcased the upcoming Phenom 300E for Microsoft Flight Simulator. But it's far more than just the aircraft. FS Reborn are all about building the experience for us to be able to say, well, what is it like to be a pilot, in particular when it comes to a corporate pilot. And that's exactly what he showcased. So Raoul joined us on the stream there. Was it last week? I think it was last week. And went through all the details of this upcoming aircraft, which of course is based on Embraer's Phenom 300E, very modern business jet. But that's only half the story, because what FS Reborn are working on is this personalized FBO, a fixed based operator. And effectively what that means is you get your own hangar and building. And there's 3 different sizes available. There's small, medium and large, depending on the size of the airport. And these will be spawnable for you to set up and put wherever in the world you want. And you can have multiple active at the same time. Not only that, if you look closely at the picture, you can see branding. That's FS Reborn's logo. Well, you have the opportunity to load in your own logo. So if you want, you could have Mallet Head Airways or, Leitrim GAA. You could have whatever you want. And this is all currently in development from FS Reborn. Now, we're very lucky. We have an open beta running on this aircraft at the moment. We have a closed beta group, open, closed, sideways beta group, busy on our Discord. And the lads are working away, helping out Raoul with some of the quality of life things and whatnot. So we've a good team working away there, and the lads are busy, which is great to see. If anyone is interested to become a beta tester for this specific aircraft, well, just drop me a DM over on our Discord. There's an NDA to sign. You must also forfeit any money you raised from your communion and confirmation and any life savings. That part is all made up. But, just drop me a DM if you're interested in it, because we probably have room for maybe another 3 or 4 more folks. If you'd like to get into beta testing, this is an incredible project if it's going to be your first time working on a beta project. So drop me a DM over on our Discord. If you're new here, !Discord or simply discord.gg/2tone Murphy. Toby Fix, I'll get to that now in a second. Just hang on to it. Remind me in about 6 minutes, right? So that's the news from the upcoming FS Reborn Phenom 300E. And also the aircraft. We talk about depth of simulation. With the depth of simulation here, Raoul is actually working off Embraer documentation. Nobody knows how he got them. He doesn't even know. But that's what he has. And it looks cool, right? It looks absolutely cool. So moving on. PMDG for Flight Sim 2024. New screenshots. I thought this one was pretty cool because it does show the flight attendants panel. And you can also see, the usual kind of seat back infotainment screens. But they've posted out a couple of screenshots for the upcoming 2024 variant of the 737-800. Right? Good man, Malky. Murph, you need to remind about... I do. Brilliant. Anyway, the latest preview are looking at the cabin control interface, but we can also see a number of additional pictures in here, updated textures. And I got to say, lads, this is looking way better. It's only when you kind of get up close to the PMDG 737, you kind of see the edges fall off. Now that we're getting used to the likes of what Phoenix are doing, the likes of what, TFDI, we've seen some of their previews as well. So this is it's a very welcomed update for sure, to bring a little bit more kind of visual fidelity to the aircraft, because also the guys over at the iFly, very, very good, But anyway, in 2 weeks, I believe, is the current excuse. For which? For this. But yeah, interesting stuff anyway to see it, Black Sheep Jean says, if I become a beta tester, do I have to give up me Guinness? No, we encourage you to drink more. That's how betas work. The fix is available on his OnlyFans page. I'll get to it now. 4 minutes, 20 seconds. iniBuilds, yes. So the official trailer was released for Manchester. We're going to be checking out the scenery here now this evening. And anyone who enjoys flying in the United Kingdom, well, Manchester is a very busy airport. Also, if you watch the awesome lads over at Airliners Live, they do incredible content. They're usually sat there. They have their own little station, and they're just shooting the breeze. They're watching aircraft come in, they're watching them going out, they're tracking them, they're giving the information, and there's a great community vibe. And Airliners Live, you'll catch them on Twitch and, of course, on YouTube. iniBuilds have included their little station with the scenery, along with Concorde, along with all the hotels, and, of course, the famous pub down the road in which you can get a pint and a burger for £4.50. But it's a beautiful looking airport. We're going to check it out here live on the stream tonight. And I believe now iniBuilds have just released it, which is great news altogether. My understanding is it is a 2024 airport. I'm unsure are they making one for 2020. I'll have to find out. Maybe there is one. I know this airport, they are using the latest and the greatest when it comes to 2024 technology. So that could be the reason why. Mako, I think, didn't they do a Manchester some time ago for 2020? It's not bad at all. But this one I'm very excited about. So we'll jump over to it shortly. Miltech and Blackbird Simulations, they have released their A1 Skyraider for Microsoft Flight Sim, both 2020 and 2024. Drew, thank you very much indeed. Mr. Drewmon, welcome aboard. Thank you for the follow. There's also a document on his Patreon, details to be announced at the end of this stream. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Anyway, Miltech and Blackbird, again working together, they have released the A1 Skyraider. Beautiful aircraft. The price of this is just $24.99 US. And, well, the features of the aircraft, along with two earlier versions, the AD3W and 4W, each arrive with its own selection of historically relevant liveries. United States Navy, United States Army, they're all in there. And there's even the French contingent in there as well. The features of the aircraft: handcrafted 3D models, weapons and stores, 420mm wing-mounted guns, configurable pylons, mid-era navigation, combining that of the 1950s ADF, but also support for the optional PMS 50 GTN. Primitive autopilot, as you can imagine. There is an optional radar scope with a dedicated antenna. It'll actually show aircraft on the radar screen. Folding wings and a tailhook is used, so it is carrier ops ready. Two-stage supercharger simulation. The engine is fully there. There is an engine failure system built into it, including prop strike, and a sound set created from the maestro of music, Echo 19. This is very, very good. We're going to check it out here now in a moment, but it is savage. Hey, Northland Air is here. Sky Blue Radio. Good to see you, lads. Welcome in. Yeah, the French Skyraiders, which served in Africa. Correct and right, Goblin Zeus. Correct and right. Now, CSS, we've tried this out before. It was the 737 Classic, and they've now come back with a massive systems overhaul, but also a major pricing change. These guys were the ones whereby you could rent the aircraft monthly, buy it for 1 year, or buy it out indefinitely. Well, they've come back to the table. So, they have confirmed development has been focused on completing the rest of the 737 family, the 300 and 400 variants, both in passenger and freighter configurations, and which they say they're very close to being released. They've also rebuilt internally for proper 2024 compatibility, and they say that the next update will provide a stable native 2024 version, which is great news. The major changes to pricing, surprisingly, a substantial revision to the pricing structure is also on the way. The current subscription model and the $120 all variants permanent license will remain available, but CSS is adding additional purchase options. You can now buy the 737-3 or 4 or 5 passenger variants standalone for $45 each. You can buy the 737 SF 300 and also the 400 freighters as a $10 add-on to their respective passenger variant. Subscription plans available only on the launcher. Customers with an active subscription cannot buy standalone variants until the subscription is finished, and customers who buy a standalone variant cannot later purchase a subscription or the $120 full license. Now, it's important to note, the $120 license gets you all variants. If you go for like the $55 a year, every year, that gets you all variants. However, they've now looked at this and said, well, if you just want this aircraft, you can just buy this aircraft outright. This is something I was looking for. I was asking them, hey, lads, would you not just do this? Because they were selling the €120 or dollar buy everything pack, but they didn't have anything to offer you yet. This was purely down to, well, you can get one now and sure, we'll make the rest when we get around to it. This fixes that. So I think this is great news, what they're doing. Great news. So at the moment, not ready for 2024. It is still in 2020, but they are working on it and they're getting closer. They've also added in a ton of new classic liveries to the 737-300, and as you can see, a couple of them down there. So yeah, it's great news. Absolutely great news. Also, a ton of bug fixes have been applied to the latest update. So yeah, this is it's getting close to jump back in and have a look at the CSS aircraft, because they're doing some nice things. Now, word from Azure Poly. We all know that they're working on Dassault's Raphael, and it is looking sharp in Microsoft Flight Sim. The visual side of this project, well, it's almost done. Now they're going to be looking at mainly the avionics and also the flight characteristics of it. There's no doubt that is that's in the sim. I was double taking that for ages. Like, no, that's real. That's in the sim. That's beautiful, right? But anyway, timing interesting given the real world attention the fighter has been receiving these days when it comes to this aircraft, and it gives us a closer look at where things stand as the aircraft moves further into virtual production. The new update confirms that the Raphael C exterior model is fully complete, and they're also going to be including a number of new liveries for that as well. On the system side, Azure Poly reports the aircraft already supports a large range of external stores covering Meteor, Mika, and also AASM. All the stuff are there, and including fuel tanks. They're already visible in the latest previews. Look at the state of the images, lads. According to the team, the cockpit model and textures are done, covering every panel and surface. The major task is now for the avionics, and they're working on the hood. So where we're at with this, they were hoping to have this aircraft released this side of 2025. It's not going to happen. They're going to push the project into early next year. And I'd rather hear a developer say, it's not ready, we'll come back to you, rather than releasing it and see what happens. Azure Poly, they've been around the block now. They've already released some incredible aircraft in the sim, some of the most beautiful aircraft. So they know what they're doing. And it's worth noting this aircraft is officially endorsed and licensed by the Dassault Aircraft Company as well, which is mad, right? Absolutely mad. So we'll keep an eye out for it, but I gotta say, lads, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So we'll keep an eye there. Now, news from Just Flight, because their massive upgrade for the BAE 146 Professional, well, it's due to drop this week. Just Flight have been busy. There's some 8 pages of change logs. I've read through 5 of them. There is a massive update on the way for the 146 Professional. If you already own it, it's a free upgrade. And if you don't own it, well, there's going to be a special price on the aircraft. The 146 was the first of the Whisper jets to come out. We got the Avro RJ sometime later. This is a beautiful aircraft. It's 4 engines. You have passenger and freighter options with it, and an absolute ton of liveries, and also each variant of the aircraft. So it's a huge update. I mean, they've done work almost on every single component of the aircraft, from the visuals, from the texturing, modeling, flight modeling, characteristics, sounds, avionics, engine management, electrical management, hydraulic management. They have done a massive update here, and it's all due to drop this week. The aircraft currently discounted by 30%. So if you want to grab it, you're going to get the same update for free when they release the brand new 2024 native package of the 146 Professional. Now, Fly Tampa teases Area 51, but the community wants updates instead. Developer Fly Tampa have made some cracking sceneries over the years, some beautiful ones. Las Vegas, Amsterdam, the list goes, or Schiphol, the list goes on. They've made some crackers. And we haven't really seen an awful lot of updates from them. And they're now back to the community saying, hey, we're working on a brand new scenery. And, well, a lot of folks are like, huh? But could you not update the stuff, please? Right. So that's kind of where it's at. Fly Tampa, they are working on an Area 51 themed project for Microsoft Flight Sim, showing their bit of artwork. I think it's going to be fun and interesting. But instead of the kind of, oh, look at this, a lot of folks are saying, hang on, where's my updates? I want to see, Vegas or Schiphol or Toronto and so on. So it's an unusual idea from Fly Tampa. They tend to sit with kind of, the major commercial airports. So interesting to see what they're going to do with this one. As we said, we saw the Captain Sim flying saucer launch, and as of 2 days ago, the Quasar. So it's getting interesting now with different type of aircraft Yeah, well, things. Well, one is a thing, the other is a thing. Right, but anyway, you get the idea. Moving on, Dream Flight Studio have released Rhode Island for Microsoft Flight Sim. Rhode Island TF Green International Airport, KPVD, features the Bruce Sundon Terminal, a modern 2-level facility with north and south concourses housing around 20 gates. It's served by major US airlines, including American, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest, and Breeze. And there's also great connections between the likes of Atlanta, Chicago, New York, and Washington. Now, anyone who went to Expo this year, well, you probably rambled out to this airport, or maybe you flew in there. Now, we do know iniBuilds did a Providence scenery, but this one is out to Rhode Island. And TF Green Airport, weren't they doing like day tours out here? I think they were. But anyway, this scenery, it's now available, $16.99, excluding taxes over on Contrail. It is an up-to-date 2025 airport layout. They do have custom ground textures, interior textures. The terminal interiors are done. The ATC tower is done. Custom night lighting, detailed parking lots, and also a GSX profile is in there as well. So great stuff, great options. Burning Blue Designs Wolverhampton Airport. We're checking this one out later on this evening. It captures Wolverhampton's Halfpenny Green Airport. Echo Golf Bravo Oscar. It's in South Staffordshire in the UK. It's about 8 miles southwest of Wolverhampton. And the airfield began life back in 1941 as RAF Bobbington, then later RAF Halfpenny Green, before transitioning to civilian general aviation, flight training, and maintenance operations. Now, I'm a huge fan of Burning Blue Design and what they do. They always manage to find these kind of off the beaten track airports in beautiful locations, and they crank the detailing up to 11. They really put their heart and soul into these, and they tend to be priced very well also. You can pick this one up now over on Orbx, $27.95 Australian dollars, so it's about 18 quid, or no, it's less, about 15 quid. We're going to be checking this one out tonight live in the stream as well. Now, the first round of exhibitors being revealed for FS Weekend, which is happening in March 2026 over at the Aviodrome in Lelystad, or Lelystad. I can never pronounce it, Lelystad, right? But anyway, we got the official nod that Honeycomb, iniBuilds, Navigraph, and Winwing are amongst the first sponsors at the or exhibitors at the event. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they're doing. It's also important to note that FS Weekend itself, what they're planning to make the event much bigger. They've actually added areas to this using outdoor tents or outdoor booths. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. They're also going to be running another edition of the Flight Sim Awards. This one for the 2026 Flight Sim Awards. More details on that over the coming week. But after watching their live stream where you had the team chatting all about it, basically the community will nominate. This is how it works. The community will nominate people, right? Be it for aircraft developer, freeware developer, or whatever the categories are. Once they're nominated, they're selected, and then you vote. And then you vote. And it's 100% public. It's all public voting that does this. So Magnus went on in the video just to explain. He said, listen, this is the way it was last year. We just didn't make it very clear that's what we were doing. So some people were saying, yeah, it looked a bit rigged or it looked fixed. It wasn't. So Magnus very much said, look, we're going to show you exactly how it's done. This is how we do it and why we do it. So that's going to be the Flight Sim Awards 2026, which is going to be happening on the Friday night of FS Weekend. So we're nearly there. Yawman have announced an official partnership with Xbox. Found that interesting. Yawman announcing it's now an official partner in the designed for Xbox hardware program, making a significant milestone for the company behind the handheld Arrow flight controller. Right. Speaking from Carmel, Indiana, the company confirmed partnership will pave the way for expanded functionality and also native integration for future devices within the Xbox ecosystem. Great news for Yawman and anyone who owns a Yawman. So basically, it's like a controller with some additional functionality aimed more at flight simming as a generic gamepad controller. But there is a lot of competition in this field now with what Honeycomb are bringing to the table. Chewbacca, good to see you. Hope all is well. Welcome aboard. So moving on, a new subscription service for Microsoft Flight Simulator products is coming soon. Introducing Sim Atlas. Wait to hear this. A brand new subscription service for Microsoft Flight Sim products is launching very soon. It's called Sim Atlas. The new service aims at simplifying the ability to add scenery products, different types of products in the future, to your simulator, all for a single monthly subscription. Now pull up the handbrake. The new platform aims to be simple and straightforward. It's a way to manage your scenery library. You pay for a monthly subscription and you have access to a large product library. You'll be able to use their proprietary software to either stream or download the scenery files to your simulator, just as we can today. For developers, the product is protected by DRM to ensure files only remain accessible whilst a member is subscribed. The developers behind Sim Atlas say, "Our goal is ambitious but straightforward. Make great content easier to discover and vastly more affordable to enjoy." They continued, "While still allowing developers to grow their revenue, the plan is to make this a win-win." So some of them, Simulations, MXI, SoFly, Fred's Airports, Shade Scene, there's a few of them after signing up to this already. The idea being is, well, rather than having to go out and buy individual sceneries all over the shop, you would pay a subscription that gives you access to a growing scenery marketplace. This is a good thing, I think. It's not necessarily there to replace. If you want to buy your own scenery outright, work away. But I like this option. The reason being is, if you don't want to be buying tons and tons of scenery, or worse, you only want that airport for maybe one flight a month, it's very hard to justify that, right? And the developer loses out on the sale. If there was a platform in which then, well, you can rent scenery libraries. I'm going to rent this one. Why? Because we're flying there next week. I think it gives a good option. It gives a good option, not to replace, but in addition to what we currently have. I think there are a lot of folks who would be, in agreement with a model like this. It all depends on the success of how this is going to work and what developers are willing to sign up for it. But I think it's a good idea. Do you know? What do you think, lads? One Fly Air is here. Good to see it. Lear is in the house with a double salute, Lear. Look, brilliant. You're very welcome in. I think it's a good idea. It's going to launch in December, and there's a wait list to be notified when it launches. So features, instead of decode or deciding whether a single add-on is worth it, you'll have access to a rich library of content for a flat monthly fee. Fly the add-ons you might never have explored otherwise, which is true. You look at an airport and go, I don't know. Now is your chance, right? And it's going to be interesting to see how this one works out. Excessively Salty says it's a good idea, especially if they keep adding more devs. I agree. I absolutely agree. Right, where are we now? GSX Pro. This is a huge update. Did you see this one? GSX Pro with a huge update with cleaning crew, but also a full airport map. The airport map is dead handy. So GSX, they've gone off and they've added a cleaning crew. So cleaners will come into your aircraft when there's no passengers, clean up the machine, and then off they paddle again. But it's the maps that I found. This new taxiway, absolutely incredible, because you can now literally click on the map, put me right there, please. And it'll put you right there. That's particularly handy if, ATC are giving you a tug release point that may not be there, or, they want you to do something kind of specific. You can be pushed or pulled depending on what way the tug configuration is. There's a sentence that could have went south very quickly. Also, in addition to that, it'll show you if there are any available parking slots, so you're not worried about no space here, no space there. It'll actually show you visually on the map what is available for your type of aircraft, and you can save locations or save taxi routes or pushback routes, right, to each scenery file, and GSX will hold that there for you. This is an awesome update. GSX is brilliant. FS Dream Team do great work, but when it works, it's brilliant. When it doesn't work, it's not brilliant. Right? It's the best way I can put it. But there's an update there which is free for users. Now, speaking of free, Navigraph Academy has officially launched with their first course. This one is the real-world inspired virtual private pilot license. Basically what it is, with Navigraph Academy, no active subscription to Navigraph is required. Unlike MuseFan, that one time he was wrong, But if people were wondering, you don't actually need to be subscribed to Navigraph in order to utilize this bit of software. It's genius. It links in through a website. You download the bits and bobs to your simulator. You put them into your simulator, and they both talk to each other. You have an online portal in which you can track all of your flights, how you got on, how you behave, and Navigraph is tracking all of these things in the background. So there is downloads you can get, but you do not need an active Navigraph subscription. This is a free course, and I think it's fantastic. The entire community can learn from this. They have real-world pilots, real-world flight instructors, and they're teaching you the basics. The first step, the first course, is the virtual PPL, and we're going to be starting this tomorrow daytime from 1100 Zulu. If you're interested, if you're new to flying, or indeed if you're experienced and you want to come back and see if you can either remember something or sharpen up or maybe learn something new, we're going to be doing this each and every Thursday as we complete our PPL. And it's very good because you're scored on it. You can replay the lessons multiple times, and there is a barrel load of information. So anyone who's done PPL training, there's like, 7 books, 9 books, 100 or 200 odd pages each. You have to read them. Very boring, you know. However, this is the information that you need. Basic flying, basic navigation, it's all there, lads. So great bit of stuff here from Navigraph. Very, very excited to see this. The lads have put together a phenomenal course. I've already started it just to read up on it. I think it's phenomenal, and it's free. One caveat, this is only it's only able to work with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if you're on X-Plane, at the moment, you cannot do this on X-Plane. This is a Microsoft Flight Sim only course for now. They do want to put it onto X-Plane, but at the moment, this is very much geared towards Microsoft Flight Sim. So we're going to be using this tomorrow. If anyone would like to join along, maybe you don't want to go flying, but you like learning, that's what tomorrow is going to be all about in the morning. Right, but don't worry, they're all on YouTube as well, CP. You know, so if you missed them live, you can watch them back on YouTube. You know, I'll even say hello to you. But moving on, the Black Friday sales. There's lots and lots of sales. There's great value to be had, lads. A2A simulations, Contrail, Aerosoft, of course. They have stuff. Pimax with these Simverse coins. Active Sky is on sale. The Microsoft Flight Sim Marketplace has over 650 items on sale. It is huge. FlightSim.to, Sim Market, Jerezvecki Design, iniBuilds, of course, running a massive Black Friday sale. Cowan Simulations, FS Dream Team, they're the guys from GSX. They also do a handful of scenery. Field Air with their Tower Simulator stuff. Flight Beam Studios, Got Friends have a huge Black Friday sale on as well. Just Flight, of course, massive, up to 50% off some of their add-ons. Miltech Simulations, NZA Simulations, I love these guys. The sceneries that these guys make, especially in New Zealand, magnifique. They have a sale on at the moment. Highly recommend picking up the likes of Milford Sound, Cook, Mount Cook, and all. Gorgeous, right? iFly schedules. Fair enough. Orbx have a massive one, up to 70% of some of the Orbx sceneries. Rex Studios, of course, Thrustmaster, Verpal, Winwing, SoFly. The list, it goes on and on. Topmax Studios, Flying Iron, also Flight Sim Web Shop, and a big shout out to Jeremy. He's running a 30% discount on a number of different Flight Sim hardware for the European market. So, yeah, check it out. Do X-Plane devs do Black Friday? Peak, they can do. Some of them do. They tend to have a massive Thanksgiving sale. Nightsep, good man yourself. It's Burning Blue Design also have a massive Black Friday deal as well. But what I recommend is if you go to the Flight Sim add-ons compare, it's over in our Discord. Check it out. Flying Fries and Flying Fries, right? Check it out because you'll see the add-ons compare website and you'll know where the cheapest place is to get you the gadget, right? Now, over to me emails here because SayIntentions have been flat out, and I mean flat out. With last week's NOTAM, there's too much to cover, but we'll try and cover it. They've added a brand new commercial route board to the pilot portal. So they already access all the real world data anyway, so why not put the schedules in there to show people, to let them know what's flying in and around them. I'm going to show you these portals on their website in a moment, but what can happen here? Let's say, for example, you look at the routing to say, look, there's an Aer Lingus due to depart in 1 hour from Shannon and it's going to Dublin. Well, you spawn into the sim and you're using Traffic Injector, chances are you're going to see that exact same flight in 1 hour's time. Like, this is nuts. This is like, what? How did you do that? Right? So the commercial routes are now there and they update them. I think it's like once a year, twice a year, something like that. They have an update period only because the amount of data, and it is costly, but this is incredible because you can actually see all the different flight schedules. It's very interesting. They've also been working on their ATC and traffic improvements, which is great because they have their arrival sequencing fixes. The cabin crew have been updated as well. Enhanced voice coverage In particular, they've added new voices for the Netherlands, Germany and Sweden, bringing in more authentic regional accents. And speaking of these mission boards, you can also see the new SkyOps mission board. This, I think, is fantastic, right? I love using SkyOps. You never know what sort of missions are available. Well, now you can, because they have a brand new missions board. Well, I'll show you this now in a moment, right? They've also made updates to Pocket Sky with new map markers, new IFR flight filing, and also a new ICAO lookup for the airport. Pretty cool, right? And then we had a quick test of this last week, StreamKit. Now, StreamKit is designed for streamers. If you're not into content creation or live streaming, there's nothing here for you when it comes to StreamKit. This is designed for streamers. And basically what it is, it's a one-stop shop. Interaction from your audience into your simulator and back out again. And there's other things on the way, such as alerts, on-screen notifications. The list goes on. But it's all powered from, SayIntentions as well. Maybe you're sitting there, you wanted to know, where did I get the fancy banner over my screen showing my departure, arrival, flight time and all? Well, they'll do all of this as part of StreamKit. It's available to the partners right now, and it's very, very powerful. We've been messing around with it, doing a bit of testing with it. We're still testing it, but I think this is huge, I think, particularly if you're a streamer. Starting off, like there's enough stuff there to confuse you. How do you make all this stuff work? How can I do this? How do I know who came into me chat? With SayIntentions StreamKit, it will do all of this for you. Even you put in a command, ! followers, it'll start talking to you over the radio, the last 5 followers. It's very, very good. And it's only going to get better. You've total control over your dashboard, real-time viewer engagement, customizable stream banner. It is easy to set up, and the experiences are absolutely class. This is all from SayIntentions, and it's great news. A quick look at the commercial routes. So, for example, this is on their pilot portal, and you can filter this by, aircraft or airline or location, departure or arrival, and you can see, for example, if we're going to be looking at an airport here for Sprint Air, for example, in a Boeing 737-4, departs in 15 minutes, we can go in and click on the details and actually get all of the information. This is a cargo flight. And Poznan, you see the departure ATIS and the arrival ATIS. So that's going from Poznan over to Cologne. Like, this is very good. You can also quick file the flight yourself or open the flight directly into SimBrief. It will give you the full flight. The distance, 429 nautical miles, taking you 1 hour 48 to do it. Isn't that only brilliant? It's brilliant, right? So this is the commercial routing stuff, which I thought was brilliant. However, if we go in and we look at the, the SkyOps mission board, check this one out. So if we wanted to have a look and say, right, well, what missions are available for me here? You can do all this by departure, airport, arrival, airport, whatever you want. And you can also do it by the type. So we can see, look, here's a VIP mission, flying a professor to an academic presentation. The payload, distance, and all the jazz are here. But then when you get into some of the other missions like air ambulance, urgent transfer of a male, severe allergic reaction to bee stings, Jesus, crown fire on Palomar Mountain in Duan Valley, that's a fire mission. You get the idea? So it means you can request, rather than just calling up SayIntentions and saying, how are you? Give us a mission. You can now go into this SkyOps mission board and select a mission relevant to the airport in which you want to fly. And of course, the map overlay will show you the weather as you're doing all of these things as well. This is very, very powerful. And a lot of the time, when I admit, when I'm using SkyOps, I tend to load in with me chopper or with me plane. I'll give SkyOps a shout on the blower. How are you? Listen, I want a mission, or I want a cargo mission, or I want to do search and rescue, or whatever. They'll come back to me with a mission. But here, you can browse, you can see what's available. And if there's nothing here that you want, you can still jump into SkyOps and just say, hey, give me a mission. They'll generate one for you. I just thought this was brilliant. There's a military equipment transport to Fairbanks, restaurant owner traveling to Ontario for a culinary conference. Brilliant stuff, right? And that's all from SayIntentions. The StreamKit dashboard, I just said I'd show you what it looks like. You can connect either Twitch or YouTube or both. Configure your stream alerts and banners. They're all coming. Start and control your stream directly from it. So if you go into your dashboard, there shouldn't be anything incriminating in here. This is where you launch your dashboard. You'll see what's happening. Your interaction queue, so any requests coming in, you can auto whitelist everything. Depending on your community, you can auto blacklist everything, or you just keep everything coming into a queue, you approve it, or your mods could approve it, and then off they go. This is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So well done, SayIntentions, because like they just keep doing stuff. They keep doing stuff, and they are working actively on any bugs and any issues people are having, be it with ATC, with traffic injection, the whole shebang. So it's great news from them. Our last bit of news then is from On Air. They're doing their Christmas challenge, Operation Arctic Revitalization. The event dates are between November 26th and December 24th, and the seasonal mission spans Iceland and the surrounding northern territories, offering a unique flying experience through fjords, mountains, and isolated airfields. Christmas is in danger. Santa Claus and his faithful reindeer have fallen mysteriously ill, leaving them unable to take to the skies. Desperate for a solution, the elves dive into the depths of the Great Library to uncover an ancient legend. It speaks of a hidden lake near the mythical Hisvictor rock, yes, whose shimmering waters possess extraordinary healing powers. Your mission now hangs by a thread. But it's a full Christmas thing that On Air do, right? But they have the main mission, the flight towards it, which is very challenging, 6 legs for it. However, there's secondary missions. Then you have the prize pool, because they have lots of prizes up for grabs. They have Sim Market vouchers, Aerosoft vouchers, PMDG aircraft, SayIntentions subscriptions, and also Pilot Experience Sim. They have some pretty cool stuff. And there's also in-game bonuses. A company is considered a participant if it does a certain score or if it completes a number of missions. And they'll also get 10% bonus of their company freight. Great stuff. There's a full tutorial there as well. If you're on Air, check it out. There's prizes to be won, and it does look like it's going to be a lot of fun. Some cracking routes there from Iceland over to Norway. Like, fantastic, right? Fantastic. Firebird, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Right, now that I've done that, it's now night time, and well, we're going to have a look at this thing. Now, before we invite our good old pal, oh buddy old pal, Lord Frites, onto the airwaves, right? I want to give you an introduction into what it is we are actually looking at here, because when I first heard of this project, I was like, yeah, right? Truthfully, you know, I was like, wait, what is this? Oh, wait, Toby. Right, hang on. Kev is going to kill me. This is the solution. Which now?
You're gonna see some serious shit.
This is the solution for Toby. Check this out. I'm going to jump into the cockpit. I'm going to turn off everything because I had everything on, right? Let's pretend you haven't seen any of these yet.
Circuits fading.
You heard nothing.
Not to miss me too much.
We won't. Now, listen. Toby. So this is... No, which now, be quiet. So, this is me using Toby. And when I usually disable Toby, right, say I'm looking over here and I click disable, it goes back to that camera view. And I'm like, I wasn't looking there. And then you turn it back on again and you have to reset it. Well, I found a way that if you want to look here and you want to keep your head here, right, where's it now? You can pause the tracking. Do you see how I did that? If I want to look over here and pause the tracking, you can actively pause the tracking. There is a workaround. This is not native to Toby. I wish it was, but it isn't. The workaround is as follows. You need the program Open Track. Now, a lot of people, when they hear Open Track, never again, I'm not using it, it's going to break. You need Open Track. When you install Open Track, you can actually select the Toby Eye tracker as your input, and you're using Free Track as your output, and you can put a filter in there to get your head movements, dial them all in, you know. But this is where the thing gets interesting. If you go into the options, you have a number of general shortcuts. You have your normal toggle center, right? So you put it to a joystick bind. You can toggle on or off. You put that to a joystick bind or whatever. But this one here, toggle while held. That means if you... That's my landing gear. If you were to press a button and it stays in place, it means then the camera is going to stay exactly where you want it to, right? I was unaware of this, and it's been wrecking me head since, you know, Toby came out with the Toby Eye Tracker, because I was like, you know, with Track IR and whatnot, I could just look at one position and then move my head around to look around it. I wasn't able to do that. You know what I mean? So now you can. So open track never broke for me. Yeah. So it's on open track, lads. Have a go at that, because I mean, if you're used to, you know, if you want to point your head somewhere and then you press a button and it stays there, now you can do it because they have their own shortcuts in here. Look. All right. So that was the piece in relation to the thing with the yoke, with the what's it. Now, back to this thing, because I need to explain what this is, and I have some notes because I had to write notes because even I don't understand this. But what we're looking at here is a aircraft, right? Naturally, it's an aircraft, but nothing that you'd actually kind of think, right? There is such a level of realism, of physics, of engineering, real world application that has been applied to this project. It's not only believable, it's actually probable in years to come, right? So what do we have? Well, it is an extremely fast aircraft, ridiculous speeds. We'll get into all of that. This will allow you to explore Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 in ways you probably haven't done so before. And I gotta tell you, the end result is absolutely incredible. The sounds, the texturing, the features, the systems, the Easter eggs, it's everything that you would expect from Lord Frites with Flying Fries, and then some. The flight model, which is a flying brick with wings, has been crafted by none other than our very own Frankenstein. And I gotta say, flying this aircraft at low speed. Now, when I say low speed, I don't actually mean low speed, but low speed for this, it's actually a joy to fly. At high speed, you're pretty much a passenger, but it makes sense, right? So, without further ado, now I've loads of notes. You might say, well, what's the name all about? Quasar. Well, the name comes from quasars, the brightest, craziest objects in the universe, powered by supermassive black holes. That's where this thing gets its name, right? The design philosophy in 3 F words. Are you ready now? You sit down for this. Fast, far, and fun. This add-on is designed to fill the gap that was left from the Pelican and also the Dark Star, but it has real systems depth. It has complex fuel and electrical systems, serious avionics, and a canopy you can actually see out of. It's a fictional airframe, it's not fantasy. Everything here is designed as if an engineer had to sign off on it. Nothing is purely magical. There's actually a lot of thought gone into this, right? So it goes on and on and on, from the engines, the power plant, and the energy ecosystem. This is where you can absolutely geek out with this machine. And I mean geek out because the amount of detail he's gone into this it's absolutely incredible. Listen to some of this, right? The Quasar has 4 hydrogen-fueled jet engines, using some 207,000 pounds of thrust per engine when it's dry. And when I say dry, it means that's without an afterburner. If you use the afterburner, you're up to about 570,000 pounds of thrust. That's almost 2.3 million pounds of thrust. Wait, what? Right? That's how they turn the aerodynamically flying brick 130-ton aircraft into a hypersonic machine. Afterburners are manual only for a reason. At full burner, you can burn the entire 3,500 US gallons of hydrogen in under 1 minute. Greta would not be impressed at all, right? Like, that's nuts. So you use them, the afterburners, you would use them for short runway takeoffs, stall recovery, or simply just burning or dumping fuel, right? Speaking of the fuel, well, it's a liquid hydrogen. Instead of Jet A, the engines burn liquid hydrogen, stored in cryogenic temperatures in pressurized tanks, just like what they have in the real world, hydrogen rockets, example the Saturn V rocket from the Apollo and whatnot. Burning hydrogen produces water vapor. Only water vapor, no CO2 from the engines themselves. And how they make it work is there's an onboard nuclear reactor and electrolyzers. Electrolyzers, right? Basically the infinite range loop. The clever bit is how you get the hydrogen. Think of it this way. On board we have a compact nuclear reactor that provides enormous amounts of electrical power on 3 separate nuclear link buses. Nuclear link 1 can also recharge the 2 lithium batteries. The 2 giant hydrogen electrolyzers, one left and one right, well, they suck in the air from outside, they pull out the moisture, and they split it into oxygen and hydrogen using the electrolysis, I think it's called. Lord Frites will tell me, electrolysis. This is the science gone into this thing, right? They're powered only by nuclear links because their power draw is like, it's off the scale. It's ridiculous. It needs nuclear power in order to be able to do this, right? The fuel flow, so the electrolyzers then take in the stuff, they then fill tanks 1 and tanks 2. Then they feed a third tank, tank number 3, which is the main tank. From tank 3, fuel goes into 4 buffer tanks, 4, 5, 6 and 7. That's 1 for each engine, plus the APU shares fuel from tank 4 as well. Total capacity is 3,500 US gallons. There is no unusable fuel because all the tanks are pressurized. So it creates a sci-fi yet very plausible party trick. Think of it this way. If you fly at the right envelope, the electrolyzers can produce more hydrogen than the engines are burning. Effectively, infinite range can be achieved on this because it's generating more fuel than it's using. And you want to see how this has all been coded into this aircraft itself. We have fuel production versus burn. I'll get into that in a moment when we have Lord Frites here. Then we can get into the efficiency matrix of how the thing burns fuel at different speeds. And then we have the airframe, the weight, the performance, how it behaves, the altitude, the speed. Speed on this is nuts. The brakes or lack thereof. But then it also has this this onboard unit, right? Which is very interesting. Cara. So it's an onboard computer telling you what to do using all sorts of AI and figuring out things. The electrical system on this, again, just to give you some sort of a snapshot into the technical aspects and, you know, depth of simulation here. There's 18 buses with 74 circuits, 2 lithium batteries, 1 nuclear generator with 3 outputs modelled. And you want to see how it's modelled. It's absolutely class. The fuel system, we had a quick talk. 7 tanks, 11 pumps, 11 valves, 4 engines plus 1 APU and a partridge in a pear tree. And then we have the caracals as well. And then there's more. Like, this is ridiculous. But anyway, we'll press some buttons to see if we can find the man and see if it's ready. Lord Frites, are you present and accounted for? Where is this now? Oh, Jesus. I found a button. Is there a cup holder? Right. We're pressing buttons. Hopefully this works. Hello?
Hello.
Listen to you and your fancy new mic.
Hey, you hear that? Isn't this voice beautiful at last?
At last. Lord Frites, you are most welcome. And, well, we're here looking at your creation in awe. I read the manual, and I don't read manuals. I never bother reading manuals. But this one I've read because I've been fascinated. And I have to be honest, I've been totally geeked out by the depth of simulation you've put into this machine. Anything from the airframe to the fuel to the computers to navigate, like that. It's nuts what you've done here. And as I said, you know, at the start I was like, this isn't really my sort of cup of tea. I'm more of a Cessna 172
you told me that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I remember.
But when I saw this and I realized what you could do, and to use your phrase, this is not an arcade flyer. You must study, learn, and become, you know, proficient with this aircraft to really get the most out of it. Where did this idea all come from? Like, where were you when it happened? Like, did something hit you?
I don't remember. What I remember is that 2 or 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, even a little bit more than 2 years ago, I wanted to start doing something very fun. And I think, initially the idea was to make something fun, something light. But the more I thought of it, the more I was like, okay, we've seen fun and light and simple stuff. And what if we push every little feature to the most realism achievable while still making a complete beast unique, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so it required a lot of thinking, a lot of studying what exists, what could be done with what, and trying to find a solution, matching the technologies and all. And it took some time to think about it, and then it took some time to design it, to model it, and we've had several iterations, and also the fact that for the vast majority of the development time, even with Tiny, we didn't know if this was even possible in Flight Simulator. Like, we wanted to go Mach 20, and we can't go Mach 20, but we wanted to make something very, very crazy, and we were like, maybe nothing of that is achievable, not even close, and it's just time lost, but let's try to do it anyway. And luckily enough, we've been able to pass a few frontiers from the simulator, and it's still super cool. Yeah.
So effectively, you have created an aircraft that, even on the decal on the side, it's rated for speeds of up to Mach 0.78 at altitudes, you know, going past the International Space Station. It's quite the imagination, but you've managed to ground the imagination. You've grounded the fantasy, because you've made it plausible, because you're using known technology, just pushing it to the absolute max. Anything from how the engines work, from fuel control, like, jet propulsion, that's in there. Nuclear power is in there. Hydrogen, of course, is in there. And then a way of how the aircraft can actually capture its own fuel effectively, or capture the materials it needs to convert that into fuel. I mean, it's not far-fetched at all. It on paper, it's fascinating.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that is, from time to time, and I think even today or yesterday, I was reading an article while browsing my news thread on my phone, and it was an article about a new aircraft that was going to be using liquid hydrogen to achieve Mach 10 or Mach 15 or something like that, and it's a prototype from the US Army, which is going to be designed, and of course it won't have a nuclear generator or hydrogen generators, but yeah, it's super cool to see that some of these technologies you find them in some prototypes from aircraft to come. And the version that Picard wanted is also true. There's also Bertrand Picard, who is the guy who made the Solar Impulse, the first solar aircraft, who made the complete go around the Earth, and is now working on another aircraft which is called the Green Impulse or the Carbon Impulse. I don't know exactly the name. And it's going also to be using hydrogen to just drive around, but it's probably not going as fast as this, with not rocket propulsors and all. But yeah, all the technologies are there, and we wanted to use something rounded to make it real, or realistic, because it's not just I didn't want to make something that people just buy it or get it, or just they fly it 5 minutes with it and say, okay, it's cool, but whatever. Let's go back to the real stuff. I wanted this to be the serious stuff. So landings are difficult, and you can tell something about it.
Yes.
It is not easy to master, but once you do it, it's super rewarding.
Well, I have to say, I agree with that statement. It's extremely difficult, but not like, it'll kick you in the ass, right? But not in a way that you make you frustrated. You want to jump back in and try it again. And I spent a little bit of time yesterday trying to fly this as slow as I possibly can, because I'm a firm believer, the slower you can fly something, the quicker you learn it. You learn what makes it you learn the edges of it fairly quick. And I had the biggest smile on my face, because flying this at its classification of what low speed is, it's an absolute joy to fly. Challenging, but an absolute joy, and it's a phenomenal way to experience the flight sim that's built for us, especially how the rendering and all that works. It's just class. But getting to the aircraft then, its design, I mean, the profile of this thing, aerodynamics, or lack thereof, it's quite a bulky aircraft, 130 tons. The power plant is off the USS Enterprise. The design matrix of this, and there's a lot more than just visuals here. I mean, everything from the surfaces that you've applied, including that of a heat shield, which we've seen some pictures of. We've seen it in the trailers. I mean, the heat shield of this aircraft will glow orange when you're at that certain sphere in altitude. But the general layout, I mean, your inspiration, clearly there's some sort of sci-fi fan in you, no doubt, getting inspiration from maybe a mix of different genres, but also your own ideas are in here as well. Particularly, I would say, from your own flight sim development when it came to aircraft? I mean, because you know how things work. You know, it's you understand certain components with other components, and that's where we have it here. The materials used on it and the features. I mean, where did you get some of the ideas for this? I mean, even like something as very basic as like, you know, the ladder to get into it. The lights even, they drop down. Like there's not just lights in this aircraft. Everything here seems to be quite unique. How do you come up with that sort of idea, or how long did you spend on it?
How long? How long? How long? A few months, a few intense months. I think I started working more precisely on the aircraft, on the design and all, just before finishing the Gabriel. So probably it was around February or March of this year. And yeah, I wanted to make something simple, just like I always do, and it never ends up simple.
No.
But yeah, the features, it's just iterative. You know, you start with the main shape, and you're like, okay, this shape I don't really like. And when you get something that feels believable and feels like it's unique and it's interesting, you look at it through all the angles and like, okay, it's good looking on many angles, or maybe all the angles, so I can start from there. And then you're like, okay, the wheels are super massive because it has to absorb a lot of shock, a lot of impact, a lot of strength. So everything is massive, everything is super heavy, super bulky. And then how do you want to climb on the aircraft? Should I model an external ladder that someone would just run to the runway and bring it? And no, it's more fun if it's a retractable ladder. So where should I put that? And it should make sense. And yeah, it's just iterative and questions and answers, and you just go with like that.
It's unbelievable. And like even looking around the outside of the aircraft, so there's a ton of features here. I've just literally jumped into the cockpit, and again, it's like what you see in the outside in terms of the visual fidelity, well, it's all matching the inside. This is somewhere between, you know, in the future, but not so far into the future. They haven't completely replaced humans just yet. Everything's believable, right? And the features on this, I mean, we've seen that from your aircraft before, be it the XF-11 or even the Gabrielle. Like there's features here and Easter eggs, of course. But like we have an EFB, for example, a very beautifully, you know, custom coded EFB, which has options to completely remove it and put it back in. You can also pop out the screen of the EFB if you wish and throw it onto a different screen. But for example, we have our remove before flight. So I'm just going to remove these bits and bobs here, because what I want to do, I want to show some of the other features of this aircraft, because again, it's where you geek out. So a simple thing, I'm going to power up the battery, we're going to turn on the nuclear switches, and then we're going to drop or give access into the bay, because this is nuts, right? So wait till you hear the sounds here, lads.
So she's not talking because you already started it before, and she talks only once per session. I mean, she says hi only once per session.
That's okay.
If that's what you were waiting.
No, it was more the sounds of this when I dropped the oak. You'll hear it now. But yeah, Kara. What was the meaning of Kara?
The meaning of Kara was to have someone, it was, I think it was an idea from Captain Kenobi, who is around here on the chat. And we discussed it, and he said, okay, it's a nice aircraft, but you need to have very unique features, so it makes it a fantastic aircraft. And he gave a lot of great ideas. And this one was an absolutely great idea, actually, to have a computer that talks to you like in the Knight Rider series, the old TV shows.
100%. Like, what did Kara stand for? K-A-R-A? Like, would the letters mean something?
It's yeah, it stands for, we need some name that was feminine, but that could also be an acronym. So I found out Kara, which stands for Kinetic Aeronautical Responsive Assistant, something like that. Whatever.
Very good. No, the sounds I'm after. Waiting to hear this with the nuclear bit. Like, even to explain the buttons, these are not just buttons. Each of these buttons are LCD screens.
They took ages to code, to be honest.
I've never seen
big frustration, these buttons.
I've never seen it in a flight sim. So I'm going to press the button. You're going to hear a deadly sound. Right, I'm going to do the same with the landing gear. Now when we jump back outside, this is where the thing starts hurting my head, because you have coded in so much functionality, but also backed it up with the visual fidelity of, well, here is what is, you know, your freaking nuclear reactor on the aircraft itself, and it's like, it's showing you the fuel rods. I mean, there's science even to this. You didn't just throw in a box and call it, you know, the reactor.
No,
it's like,
not.
no, this is how it should work.
Yeah, it has to be fun. It has to have its story. It has to have its credibility, its believability. So yeah.
Like, that's nuts, and it's animated. It is a screen. There's even lights here that we can toggle on or off into the bay, and yeah, it's absolutely fascinating. And of course, it wouldn't be a Flying Fries aircraft without Easter eggs, and there's many an Easter egg on this machine as well. But I had to show, because I mean, mind was blown. I was like, wait, hang on, you've done so much here, you know, with the making the aircraft so believable, yet so mad at the same time, you know. So yeah, I think what we'll do, I mean, from the exterior, even the lighting, we've seen it there at nighttime. The sounds are absolutely great as well. What I might do, I might start putting some power into the craft, because, well, again, there's using so much logic here. Right.
And just before you start anything, did you found your own decal on the exterior of the aircraft, or didn't you see it yet?
Have you a decal for me?
Oh, there is something for you on the Fireflies team, yeah.
Is it on all liveries or one livery?
On all liveries.
Is it on
You
the top?
didn't see it.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, it's on the top. It's hidden when the canopy is open. When
Wait,
it's
now.
closed, you can see it.
Wait now. So it's over
this text here, yeah. I suggest you read it. It's a fun text.
Caution, never refuel main tank when people are on board. Applies also to two-tone and Firefly employees. That is absolutely brilliant.
You didn't see that. That's cool.
I didn't even see that. That's hilarious. That's brilliant. Oh, I love that. Firefly employees. That's brilliant. Didn't see that. Oh, that's fantastic. Right. And I've spent... Now, I don't have the hours, like, you know, that I should have in it, but I have a couple of hours messing around with it. But in terms of the logic, you've made it simple. There is checklists. I have to commend you on it. You have a phenomenal manual for this aircraft. Yeah. It's extremely detailed, gives you the history of the craft as well. It works for both 2020 and, of course, 2024. It gives you an introduction about the project, but you really delve into the systems of this craft, why it works, how it works, and how to kind of hold the hand, if you like, to the new pilot trying to figure out what everything is. I love seeing a very detailed manual, because it's like everything. If you spend time with the manual, well, you'll figure it out, you know?
Yeah, it was important. I think on all my aircraft, the manual is super complete, and I think it tends to be more and more complete with time, just like with everything. And yeah, this time I really went full throttle on the manual.
But
it was important.
But even the layout is brilliant. I mean, from the fuel system, the electrical system, it's very easy to follow, considering how advanced the craft is itself. You know, I thought it was brilliant. I really did. Thought it was brilliant. So what I'm going to do first, before putting more power in, we're going to check our electrical circuit breakers. And again, you've modelled all the circuit breakers. They're fully functional. So if they pop up, they work. So they're all there. We can close off those bays.
And not only do they work, but you can also see the status of the circuit or the bus on the OLED buttons themselves. Like the external light right now, they show if your lights are on or off.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pull the exterior light breaker, it will tell you power fail on the OLED button itself.
Look at that. See the lights coming on? And here's the thing, these are individual screens. I'll show you now. We'll put a bit more power into it. I think we can go with the Newcom, we can go avionics, and we're going to fire up the APU just to get us started with. So,
yeah, and we are in multiplayer. I think there's 4 or 5 of us, 4 of us waiting for you on Southeast Asia, just next to you on the same.
Perfect, because we can have a look at the other liveries. Right, give that a second to load. So APU, let me see, power's on, we'll start it up. I mean, look at this. Even the button has a digital display of the RPM, like, the buttons are screens, lads, and yet the performance in this is absolutely incredible. There's no delay, there's no frame rate drop. It's incredible. Right.
Yeah,
So,
the optimization was also a big concern, because we knew it was going to fly fast and it needed to have resources to stream the world. So the aircraft itself had to be very efficient.
now, in terms of lighting inside, you have all these individual dials. I mean, I don't know how many different sort of customization levels you can do, but you've also put in a quick internal light switch as well, just brightens everything. That's genius, because I was ages trying to get the lighting, and I was like, oh wait, hang on, here's a button that does it. So thanks for that button. But yeah, like it's absolutely incredible. And like some of the options now, if we have a quick look at the EFB, because we won't need this now in a few minutes, all going well. We can see we have a fuel preset. One click, that'll put said fuel into your tanks, depending on what you want. Interesting that you went with 29%, but of course that just fills each of the engine tanks rather than any of the generator ones or the electrolyzers. We can choose some pilots. You've added in your own avatars into this. We've Ethan, we have Yasna, and then we have Johnny 6, who's a cousin twice removed from Johnny 5, which the inspiration
nice
short
one.
circuit, right?
Yeah, it's Johnny 5 2.0, so probably Johnny 6.
But you didn't just stop when it came to putting in avatars. I noticed there's options. If you don't get the pressurization and temperature correct, if it gets particularly cold in the aircraft, the avatars will shake, except for Johnny 6. He doesn't shake because he's no skin.
Yeah. They don't shiver with the same voice. Also, Yasna and Ethan.
It's
They have
absolutely
their own voice.
like it's mad, right? Absolutely mad. I love it. Absolutely love it. So remove before flight is good. We've cargo here as well, as in we can select missions in this, and there's some inspired, well, some of them are class. You can actually do a point A to B mission, loading in your cargo, and you can even see the type of cargo, and some of them here, like, you know, cloaks of invisibility, right? A Dyson sphere, as you love it. Excalibur is in there. A medium flight, you know, hyperdrive generator, right? If you want to do a long flight, 3,000 nautical miles in this, well, that's not very long, is it? I mean, you'll do 3,000 miles relatively quickly in this thing.
It's less than an hour, yeah.
Less than an hour. And then extreme, you have oil lamp from Agrabah, Sauron's one ring. I love that. That's brilliant. So you get the idea, and that'll give you your country, your departure, and your destination, or your destination from your current location. We want you now to fly 6,010 nautical miles from here to Turkmenistan to drop off the ferry Orkania. Right, brilliant stuff. And then you can load. You also have multiple pages here as well. Multiple pages, right? Our options then, tons of options. Noise reduction, of course, for headphones. Vibrations if you want them. I have it set to normal. You can turn them off, low or normal. Visual effects, temperature units if you want. The shiver effects, sound effects are there. And then you have also, how do you pronounce that? Is it suede, or is it a soft?
That's a good question. I think it's Sued.
Sued's
So
graffiti.
it's the one of the genius from my team that I'm very lucky to work with, and is the guy who designed most of the EFB, including all these cargo missions. And he also likes to do some graffiti, digital graffiti, on his free time.
Awesome.
I think he was also doing real graffiti at once, but now there is a graffiti of him saying Quasar somewhere on the aircraft if you want to see it.
But you have to go find it. And then there's something great out here, and this is where it's typical Flying Fries, because it says restock food. And then you're saying, wait, what? Where does that go? And that now causes us to start looking around the aircraft to figure out, well, hang on. I mean, you are a divil for putting in Easter eggs. I mean, there's Easter eggs everywhere. There's pictures and stuff. But then you start reading, it says, do not store unstrapped insecure items above. And then it says, the seat can be moved back to the wall. We won't go any further, but there's stuff at play here. It's everything, whilst it seems normal, it's far from normal. So yeah, try and click on everything, you'll see where it goes. Reference speeds for the aircraft, these are also plastered on the wall, and we have a bit of a checklist there as well. Information, if we want, we can use the QR codes and go off and figure out where it's at. You've also included your own licensed music, and the idea behind this was the different genres. As you're flying the aircraft, you can now give a sense of that experience because you put a soundtrack to it. So I'll blast one of them just to give you an idea, right? Have a listen. So these songs are licensed to yourself, but we get to listen to them as we're flying along. And you have a soundtrack in the aircraft as you're flying, and I got to say, it's beautiful. Like, you get up to the right altitude, and you fire up a bit of I think it's called Featherlight. It's very nice. Do you know? It's very nice. And then we have our home button here, and that brings us back to where we need to be. So from the EFB, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And as I said, you can pop it out if you don't want it there. I tend to leave it there. It's not really in the way, and I tend to leave it on the fuel page.
That's why you also decided to keep it. To bring it directly in front of you when you start in the aircraft, because it's not obstructing anything.
Sweet. Now I've turned off. I'm trying to Steiny. If Steiny's there, try and invite me to a group using multiplayer, because I've turned it back.
It's strange. We don't see you either. We are all here, but we don't see you.
So if you go into if you invite, see this crack up here. If you invite me to a group, it's like a request. That should add me in. Now, we've other bits and bobs up here. Computer volume, we can dial that. That's for Cara. We can have a look at the fuel system here. And as I was talking about the fuel system, once we have the engines running, we get two markers. Red is burning, green is generating, and then we have a marker showing us what the aircraft is doing. So if we're at too much power, we're draining fuel. If we're at the right power, we could be generating fuel, and that's all visible from here. Or you can get the main read here. You see your throttle, you see gallons per minute being generated, and how much fuel are in your fuel cells, which is great. And then we have a start-stop chrono over on the right-hand side as well, right? So we've all that. When it comes to the avionics, these are custom coded as well. So we do have our crew alert system. Then we have our fuel management system. We can see everything that's running here. We have the engine panel. And again, this is all custom coded. You can see the fuel flow. Yeah. You can see ITT, EGT. And some of these numbers are like, they're off the scale. You know, it's like, really? That could work? And then we have this GTC, which effectively is basically what we're used to from the Garmin unit. So we can get in, we can change the PFD, we can change the MFD. You know, if you're similar on how, is G3000, I think?
It's a G3000, yeah.
You know,
from the working title. So it's not the default from SBO, it's the more advanced one.
But the good news is you can absolutely utilize your Navigraph charts. SimBrief is there if you want it as well. And so your normal familiar stuff are there controlling your avionics. So great that they're all there. So I'm going to keep it on the crew alert system for the moment, because we're going to put some power into this machine. I just need someone to invite me to a group. Steiny, invite me to a group.
He should be hearing you. I think he should be hearing.
No, because what happens is sometimes if you turn off multiplayer, sometimes it just doesn't go back on. You know what I mean?
Or maybe you only see people who are live. You know?
No.
I don't know.
Oh no, we've earned our stripes now when it comes to multiplayer on this thing. Yeah, it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But to fix this, I just need to be invited to a group. So if one of the lads is there, just invite me to your group. How to do that? Go to the menu, and then find a person or a group, and you'll see leave group or invite to group. Fan does it the whole time. But anyway, we'll see what the crack is. We'll power it up anyway, because I want to see the other aircraft, because you've also delivered a ton of aircraft or a ton of liveries with this. And this one here, of course, inspired by NASA, but you've also included others. Fictional, of course, real world, but some very cool stuff as well. There's a European one in there. Just some beautiful liveries to this. Do you do your livery design, or do you get folks to work on that with you?
No, it's just me. I love doing this. Yeah.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It's my work.
Hey, Ace is here. Good to see you. I've had live players, all players thing turn to off and turning multiplayer off and on again. Yeah, strange, isn't it? Hang on. Not like multiplayer to be, not working. Friend request sent. That could be anyone's guess. I will change the server and go back to a server. And if it doesn't work this time, I'll just go back out to the main menu, because it doesn't take long to load.
Yeah, because we're definitely on Southeast Asia. I can see all the other guys.
Yeah.
But,
so sometimes it just does this. Right. We'll go back and restart. Won't even do it. We'll go back and we'll do it again. Right. Get in there now. Parking. Set as departure. On the ground. Shut down. Flight conditions. And let's try this again. Let's see what happens. Mrs. Upside Down will have to remove this. Wait, what? She'll have to have a go at this. Absolutely. Right, we're going to get the sounds from Kara now as well, I suspect, when we fire it up. And again, it's probably no harm that we're in this position, because, I mean, look, when you see the scale... there's everyone there, look. Good stuff. When you see the scale, you know, versus the size of a human next to it, it's absolutely huge. It's a massive craft. So, let's see. In we go, and let's start putting some systems online here. So we'll start off with the battery. Let's see what we can do. And we'll see how quick we can get this aircraft into action. So they're all removed. That's grand. Pilot's grand. Fuel filler up. And let's see. Lights. Hello. Friend request. Cheers, Steiny. And APU startup. Now, another thing I love about this, as I said, don't press that button. All the switches are individual screens, as I said. But if you really want to show them off, you have a button over here, look. And we have... It's for testing them, right? So test the OLED buttons. Like, lads, have you ever seen anything like that before? Each of the... they're screens as buttons. It's crazy good.
See if you have dead pixels or not. So apparently they're all good. It's important to check.
And now, in terms of failures and whatnot, consequence, is there? Like, can I break things without wanting to break things?
No, you can't. Sorry, you didn't hear that. But no, you can't break the OLED screens.
Okay,
not yet. I'm not sure I will include this. It would be so much work.
Look at the seat moving back and everything. It's absolutely class. Right, let me see. We're going to close the canopy. And just listen to the sounds, lads, because it is absolutely brilliant. APU bleed is now on. APU bleed is running. Canopy unsealed. Canopy
closed.
You
opened it instead of closing it.
All right. We're going to close it now. Say nothing. I was wondering why the chair was going backwards. Now, there's also
need to get the chair closer.
Yeah. There's also something important in relation to flying this. In particular, how, you know, to land this. Right? Because it isn't easy, Lord Frites, at all.
I know. It's really part of the pleasure.
Right.
A little bit of pain, you know.
Now, effectively, you don't want to be using all 4 engines when you're landing. 2 engines is more than enough, and you've built in the fuel automated cutoff on touchdown or FACT system to be able to help with that. This will take some time to learn. The aircraft does require long runways. It just does. The rotation speed of this thing is somewhere in and around 300 knots. Landing speed is probably in the mid 200s. It needs large runways, which is believable, again, considering the weight of the craft and also its power plant, which is nuts, do you know? So, I don't know, have you done like landing competitions with your lads yet to figure out, you know?
Yeah, in the beta we've tried a lot of landings, and we were 2 to achieve 4,400 feet runways. So I suppose for now, with not wind, you know, not without cheating with the weather. So I suppose this is the record for now, and I'm expecting someone to break it at some point. But yeah, 4,400.
4,400, right? That's to beat.
No, Steiny, we were just even shorter than Gibraltar. Gibraltar is 6,000 feet long, I think, or something like that. So we were much shorter.
So the lads have joined us here. And they're showing off. It's like a fashion show. And here with the beautiful purple. But it just gives you an idea of the liveries, but also model matching, which is great to see. And the liveries, they'll follow anything from believable real world to your sci-fi kind of inspired. What could it look like? And you can also see the avatars in which they're using as well, which is great to see. And seeing all these aircraft lined up, I mean, they're just cool looking. I just never thought this craft would be as fun, because it is. So what I want to do, I want to fire it up, take it for a quick spin, and no pressure now, right? Because I want to try properly land this, and maybe I can. So what I'll do, I'm just going to go for 2 engines. I'll go 2 and 3 for even 1 engine is probably enough for taxiing, but sure, we'll see what happens when we do all this. Park and brake is set. Ladder is released.
But you should definitely at least turn on engine 1 because this is where your gyro is linked to. So if you want your altitude indicator and angle null,
Aha,
the
right.
engine 1 is the most important.
Grant, we'll fire up engine 1 first.
And you can taxi with only 1 engine.
Sweet.
Some people do that.
Okay. And then we've afterburn, like there's crazy town on this thing. Crazy. Okay, so there's engine 1 coming up. Starter still engaged. That'll jump off, and then we'll get consumption, and she'll fire up. There she goes. Blue lights are on, and that's engine 1. I'll go with number 4 for the crack here as well. Now, in terms of our lights, let's double check. The lights are really good on this as well. They're very bright. Let me see. Fuselage lights on here as well. That's all okay. Thrust vectoring is okay. You've also built in an autopilot. The headphones are clickable for noise cancellation. We can see the current onboard climate control, which is simulated. You can affect all of this. Anti-ice protection is there for your engines, also your windshield. And something else, this screen down here, very handy next to your landing gear. So this screen will look at your speed, ground speed, altitude, Mach and flight level, the range of the aircraft, and then what way your trims are set, because your trims, talking to Steiny, are most important at high velocity, high altitude.
Yeah, just even high velocity trims is important. If you don't want to automatically climb and you want to fly steadily at low altitude, you have to trim down a little bit. And at low altitude, you don't want to touch too much the stick, or even the rudder is even worse. So you don't touch anything like that, and just use the elevator trim.
Okay. So the auto aileron trim, that's what it is. Very high speed, air is dense, roll forces are heavy. At insane altitudes, the air is thin, the aircraft becomes a little bit twitchy, which we know what the story is there. Okay. So the fuel automated cut off on touchdown, we just need to figure this one out, because it's one thing taking off, that's the easy part. Landing this thing is a challenge. So effectively what we have, we will land with engine either 2 or 3 or 1 and 4. Only use 2 engines for landing.
1 and 4. Probably.
1 and 4, so
much better.
We'll drop off 2 and 3. We do have a handle on the left hand side, the FACT handle. When you pull that out, you'll see it come up in your cast, your crew alert system. And then when the main gear touches down, FACT closes all the engine cutoff valves, killing all thrust immediately. But then you just have your inertia then to start slowing down, I suppose. So yeah, we'll have to watch the
inertia, and you pull a stick to increase the drag with your elevator, and you step on your toe brakes, and you set the spoilers as much as you can, and you pray and you cry and you do whatever you can.
Well, when you say,
you should be able to stop.
Yeah, when you say step on the brakes, like basically when you kick your brake paddles into the next room beside you, you know,
exactly.
Right? Do you know? But right, we'll have a look at this and see what happens. Where is this now? And I love the fact that I've already heard a couple of things from Clara. On a landing, it was I had to do a retake. I was like, hang on, did she just say that? So what we're going to do, we're going to come off the brakes, and this is going to be hilarious. So let's see. So we're here at we're down at the Cape. We're here at the shuttle landing facility, and we're going to take this machine out for a little blast. And it's important to note, I haven't touched the throttle yet. This is just idling, and this is sort of the momentum we have going forward. Now, I'm sure you've seen this on the trailers. Lads, the absolute speed of this thing, it's nuts. But I found trying to fly this at a low speed is very, very pleasant. It's enjoyable. Now, a low speed to this is about 350 knots, right? It's very fast.
Yeah, it's that. You can't fly it much slower than that, otherwise you might fall.
You might fall. You might fall, right? So the good news here is this is a long runway. It's built for the shuttle, so that's why I said we'll come here. So we're going to line ourselves up here, and don't need those. And we're going to plan for takeoff. So get ourselves lined up. While we're waiting here, we're going to fire up 2 and 3. And we're going to sit tight. And we'll try and give ourselves a bit of room that everyone can fit onto the runway as well. Now, would you recommend afterburners on takeoff always, or depends on the runway?
Yeah, it just depends on the runway. Here, you really don't need it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's have a look here. So we have N2 rotation. Go ahead and put fuel in. And we'll keep an eye on our CAS system. APU, we can disarm it or drop it off once we have all engines running. Engines are now running. Bleeds coming off. Master switch coming off. APU is on. That's powering down. Landing lights are there. Fuel, let's have a look. We're 100% across the board. Engines are stable with 2 and 3. Oil pressure a little bit low, but that's going to rise. That's where we want. And again, like, this is where the simulation of this thing is coming through, right? So, right. Thunderbirds will go. Right, let's see what happens here. Now, the sounds are class. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come off the... Well, there's no point holding the brakes. They won't hold. We're going to come off the brakes, accelerating. And let's go afterburner for the sheer crack. We're going to rotate at around 300 knots-ish.
380 or 350, 380.
Yep, see Daisy. Gear up.
Look at that. Isn't that the Kennedy Space Center? Don't fly too close. They might get jealous.
How did she know where we were? Right. We're airborne anyway. Now, if you look very closely, lads, we're at 380 knots. This is considered quite slow. But this is where it's just a joy to fly, because the view out of this machine, I think, is brilliant. And that's before we start doing anything weird. So I'm going to do a pattern, right? And to see if I can land this, and then I want to show you what it's actually capable of, because it'll knock your socks off. So let's have a quick look here as we circle around. And as I say, the speed is nuts.
The speed is great here.
It's
But
absolutely...
you're a bit slow. You might fall already if you don't check your speed.
Landing gear.
Listen,
Try not to be under 300 knots while you're turning.
it's all grand. I'm a black belt in this thing now, so I am.
Okay.
I say that with like absolute terrible conviction, but I'm not. But let's see what happens here, right? So yeah, speed wise, keeping an eye on where the lads are, and let's see if I can land this thing. So you only have to barely touch on the power and it's gone. While I'm here, lads, have a quick look at the fuel regeneration process. So you can see where this little arrow is here now, 130. That means I'm generating fuel. So technically, if I leave everything alone, we have infinite flight, infinite range, or at least up to 5 years before the cell on the rods
Exactly.
on the nuke decides to give up, right? But right, so let me see. Where's the? Yeah, it's over. Yeah, we'll take our time here now. So 385, right? And as I say, this will just take us some time to figure it out in terms of takeoff, landing. But it's something, and I genuinely mean this, it's something I kept coming back to going, I won't be bet by tech, I'm going to do this. It very much encourages you to go off and fly it again.
Yeah, we didn't want this to be frustrating because I don't like when I'm frustrated by an add-on I buy. So I'm like, why is it frustrating? We just spent money in that and it's not even fun. It's just torture. And so I want it to be complex, or yeah, rather complex, but not extremely complex either.
Yeah.
And not frustrating, so it's still fun. You still have a lot to discover each time. You still have, and you're very happy when you start to master your landings, because that's the most complicated thing. You're really happy. You feel like you're the king of the world, and that's a great feeling.
It just is, especially when you land it and you know there's no consequence. But I have to say, right, at its slow flight, it's quite nice because, as I said, it's cool, it's agile. I mean, you can throw it around the place, and it looks so strange and odd, yet fairly believable. That's what I love about this. It's not like it's not fantasy, you know, which is what I love. So right now, Cara, let's see what we're going to do. We're going to drop the gear, and oh yeah, wait till I kind of pick where I need to go. Where am I going? I'm going over there. Look. And
Landing gear out. Here goes nothing.
Here goes nothing, she says. Oh Jesus, formation flying with this thing is going to be brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, let's see what we can do. Now I can use fact, or I can just go Murph mode and turn off the engines, which I might do myself. So hang on now. Don't panic, anyone. 2 and 3 offline. Drop and drop. There's the CAS system saying what's going on. And now I shall attempt to land my machine on a runway, right?
Yeah, you're still a bit fast. I mean, you're still super fast.
No,
On
it's
approach,
grand.
you should be at around 300 knots, not faster than that.
Listen, it's grand, right? We have all this down to a
I'm
fine
trying to
art.
help you, man. But yeah, of course.
Wait till you see what I do next. Look, the speed brake is out. You know what I mean? Right. But Jay, now, don't go too slow. Easy now, Cara. Yep. Let's see what she's... I reckon she could be impressed. Easy now. Easy now. Speed looking good. Midlife Rex is on the runway. That's
You'll
okay.
be fine.
All is well in the realm. 230. Hold the nose. And touchdown. Right.
Back on Earth. Tell me we will not end in the trees again.
Right, we're on the brakes, we're slowing it down, pulling back in the stick, and I do believe that is a successful landing in which we haven't died. Oh no, someone died up the road! Ah, poor old devil. So it's quite mad. Now that takes practice. It's straight up. You know, if you're looking at it going, oh yeah, it's easy. It's not easy, right? It does take a bit of practice. In saying that, it's also very rewarding once you're able to land it. But this is where I want to show you the thing where it gets nuts, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to press a button, and I'm going to slew myself, because now we're going to go and show you the the sheer capability of what it's like with this thing going nuts, right? So let's have a look at our engines. So fuel, in you go, close fact. Get a start up on 2 and 3. We're going to keep an eye on our fuel here as well. We full fuel because we were generating it on that flight. We have N2 rotation. Go ahead and horse the fuel in, and we'll just wait for these engines to come online. Starters are on. That's all looking good. That's all looking good. This is where the thing gets nuts. So wait for the starters to disengage. We're looking good. All right. Speed brake in. Power coming in. And burners on. Jeez, look at it from the outside. This thing is nuts. Right, 250, 280, 290, 300, 330, 360, upsie daisy. Gear up. Now, this is where the thing gets absolutely bananas. We'll pitch up here for about 15 degrees or so. Now, if I want, I can manually refuel. If I just want to go into space, I can manually refuel this. By having the tablet open, I can go down to the fuel and just keep an eye when everything runs down low enough, so I can just top it back up again, which is great. But to give you an idea, we've gone from 0 to about 8,000 feet in about the same amount of time it takes you to look at yourself in a mirror, right? Nuts. And our speed now, we're well into the Mach at this stage when we've broken the sound barrier ages ago, and that's all simulated as well. You've pure silence until, of course, you enter the sound sphere, and you get your sonic boom, which is absolutely brilliant, right? So you can see now everything's ticking away, not just as it should. Our ground speed is some 1,600 kilometers, Mach 3.5, flight level 520. That's 50-odd thousand feet. And before you know it, lads, I mean, we're gone. We're away into space. Like, this is such an incredible way to explore the sim. And I don't know, Lord Frites, like, how much of your time is actually spent up here rather than flying slow nearer the ground? Because, I mean, I gotta say, up here, this is where the thing, like, really shines.
Yeah, I think Stanley loves to fly slow in the canyons and all, but I do that with many other jets already. So I spent much more time way up and realizing how Awasubo and Microsoft has made such an amazing job, because we never see this Earth from this perspective, and yet it's so beautiful. So the sim is really incredible.
The sim is gorgeous, and there's that heat shield there now. I mean, look at the colours there, lads. Isn't that absolutely spectacular? And before you know it, I mean, you're at the millions of feet. And Cara will tell you, she's like, yeah, you've good luck, Earth. Best of luck to you. We're at Mach 0.78 here now. One thing when we get to these higher speeds, be very careful with your control inputs. I think it's better if you're using the likes of your trims for better control, or indeed your autopilot, but your autopilot will probably struggle at these sort of speeds as well. Like we're holding here about a 7-degree pitch. Our altitude is now 225,000 feet, looking at the gadget. And of course, there's a couple of shortcomings from Asobo in relation to, what else is up here, right? But I mean, look at that, lads. In a matter of seconds, I mean, just look at how you can explore this sim. And there's no glitchiness, there's no weirdness. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. And you couple that with, with the soundtrack that's available from the EFB, you'll kind of get an idea now, lads. Like, this is the one I go for. Like, it's just gorgeous. It's like Matthew McConaughey is going to start talking any moment now. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. There's this thing.
It's absolutely insane. Steiny's trying to catch up. Shouldn't the world be flat? Yeah. So they're the songs that are included. Just on whatever platform they'll give out to me because I'm streaming it. But in general, you won't have any bother. You know what I mean? So lads, this is the Quasar, and it's our first proper look at it. I mean, this is a project I'm sure that's going to grow. I'm sure Lord Frites, I know you have more ideas and things you'd like to see. I'd love for the community to start putting a bit of pressure on us, but maybe they can build an object in outer space that we can go up and visit, because this is the reality now. I remember having a conversation with Sebastian at, I think it was FS Expo, and he was saying it is possible to go out into outer space, and I was like, would you not do space travel? And he's like, no, I don't think so. Now we have that, but thanks to Flying Fries. I mean, literally, we can go to space now. Literally.
We'll go way above the ISS, so we definitely go into space.
It's unbelievable. And what's not... Hang on now, we fill her up. I mean, even sitting in this thing, it sounds like the friggin' Enterprise when you're in it at full speed, And then you have the VR side of it. Like, it's just incredible. And like, when you see these sort of views, lads, like, there's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. I love it. It's a project that I was just... You're doing what? And then when you see it, you're like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. And I really think, you're going to enjoy flying this because there's science. You'll geek out on the science because it's very believable. It's quite realistic. It's modern day technology with, it just got pushed to the absolute limit, right? But then also... Sorry,
we are speaking, you asking what is the max altitude? So just to answer this question, the max altitude, it depends. If you are in Flight Sim 2020, it will be 275,000 feet. But if you are in Flight Sim 2024, I don't think there is a maximum altitude. We stop counting at 10 million feet, but you can probably go higher.
10 million feet?
10 million feet is quite high.
Who went up to 10 million feet? Did you come back yet?
A few people went to 10 million feet, and we have Ace of Spades. We just did that yesterday, and I don't think it's back from Earth since the yesterday's stream. So.
I haven't found the ceiling yet.
He hasn't
Ace?
found the ceiling yet. So.
Wow, lads, it's just something that's going to put a smile on your feet, a smile on your face. It's so much fun. There's a ton of depth to it, and the price. I mean, you can pick this up right now over on flightsim.to. €27.55 is the price that I can see. And Lord Frites, I don't know, is that going on to other stores as well?
It's also...
Uh-oh. We had him and then he froze. It froze! But it's all right. He might come back to us. Cracker, good to see you. Discord had a moment. But... Ace.
Oh, okay. It was this.
Yeah. There we go. We have
you
back.
Hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's probably me who had a moment because I also lost the stream. So I don't know what you heard. So it's already on the marketplace. on the marketplaces for 2020 and 2024 for PC and Xbox. So it's already there. And it will also come to other stores. I don't know exactly which one yet. But later we have an exclusivity with Flight Sim 40 for at least a week.
Nice, okay. I mean, we're at now 1.2 million feet, 2,000 knots, 7.1. Like it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And there was the warning for fuel, but we're all grand. You can just continue this on, away you go. It's absolutely brilliant. And I got to say, it flies now. Flies. I mean, you've put it in the manual what not to do. You know, kick the rudder, for example, at this speed and altitude. You're going to lose your lunch. But yeah, there's a ton of Easter eggs.
Exactly, don't do that.
Yeah, do it. There's a ton of Easter eggs in this that you can go exploring as well. But it's awesome, man. It's so different. It's not something I would be instantly going, oh, look at this. It'd be like, what the? I've been so intrigued by this, and I just love the amount of detail and care that you've put into it, and you've made it so plausible. It's absolutely brilliant. So a very massive well done to you and all the team. I mean, this is definitely a different project.
Yeah, it's definitely just not me. Tiny is being part of why it works. And not on him, but Pseudo, who's also flying with us right now, and he's also been super helpful. He told me, I hate JavaScript, and it turns out he's just a god of JavaScript, and he made incredible stuff with the EFB. So,
nice.
Okay. And yeah, so many all the other guys who tested and who just perfected everything with massive knowledge. I think about Philip. I think about our testers who spent 70 hours in over 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know exactly. It's completely crazy. Yeah.
It's awesome. I love it. And like it just, as I say, this allows you to explore the sim in a way we're not used to exploring it. So that has to be commended as well. So Asobo, the sky, when you say is not the limit, it isn't, you know.
It isn't.
You know.
Not anymore.
It absolutely not. So yeah, excited to see kind of where this project evolves to, but also for yourself. I mean, there's no doubt, you know, Lord Frites, with the work you've put into this in terms of the customization, the avionics. I mean, you've learned, no doubt, so many new things working on this project. That's going to carry on to your other projects. So it's great to see that. I love that. So yeah, we're definitely going to be in. We're definitely in store for a treat with your upcoming add-ons as well. So yeah, loads of fun. Sweet.
I lost the audio for a second, but yeah, I'm super happy. I learned a lot. And of course, the next one, the Hind, won't have as much crazy specifications, but of course, it will be as complex and with systems as much as in depth as we could. And yeah.
So that's me using the rudder when I shouldn't be. But you can use it, but it's advised against it.
That's okay because you're climbing vertically. But if you were flat, it wouldn't do the same.
Ah. So we're currently at 2.4 million feet. Did you know that the Irish invented space? Just in case, you know, just in case you weren't sure, I better tell you. You know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely fantastic. So much fun. And guys, this is available right now. Highly, highly recommend this one. Because it's so crazy. And you'll lose your lunch when things go wrong. But it is so much fun. It really, really is. So we shall leave it there, Lord Frites. But thank you so very much indeed for joining, giving us the opportunity to show this. And we're going to plan a group flight with this soon. I mean, you know you're going to. We'll circumnavigate the world.
I'd love to join it. Yeah, just tell me and we'll join it.
How long would it take us to actually circumnavigate the world? Fly the equator?
We measured it to 5 hours, I think.
5 hours?
If you wish to go around the equator, it should be around 5 hours. Yeah. You're doing 5,000 miles. Yeah, 5,000 miles ground speed. So, yeah.
Right, challenge accepted. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Brilliant stuff. Okay, Lord Frites from Flying Fries with the brand new Quasar, now released for both Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and 2024. If you want these sort of visuals, though, I'd be saying 2024, only because the way Asobo have built the world in this, it's the entire globe. It's not like a render of the globe within a globe from 2020. But yeah, it's certainly a lot of fun. And yeah, can't wait to see more coming from Flying Fries. So we'll leave you there. Thank you very much indeed, and we'll catch you soon.
Thank you, Murph. See you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Take care. All right, that was Lord Frites from Flying Fries, and a massive shout out to all the guys who've worked on this project. Because I got to see the guys what they're working on in the background. Steiny has done an incredible job with the flight model. I've ran out of fuel. It's going to take about 6 weeks to get back down to where we started from. But sure, listen, we're in orbit now, lads. We're in orbit. But isn't it cool? Like, it's just something different. I love that. Absolutely love that. So we must progress. We have more to do. But a massive shout out to Flying Fries. And right, where? Oh, jeez, I'm after closing what is. What's we doing next? Oh yes, we're doing one of these. The Miltech Simulation Skyraider. We're going to load into this briefly to give you a look, right? And what we're doing here, friends, if I can find it, A1 or A-1. What do you reckon? There it is. We're going to jump into this in Wolverhampton, down at Halfpenny. Now, where are you, Halfpenny? You're up here. So, no, hang on. Halfpenny Green. Echo Golf Bravo. Echo Golf Bravo. Oscar. Echo Golf Bravo. Oscar. Right, we'll load this in briefly because I want to show you this. Both the airport and the airplane. Then, Jesus. Then it's a quick look. There was a button. It's going to be a quick look at iniBuilds Manchester now that it's released. And then we're going to be joining Zach on the blower here now in a moment. So, Burning Blue Design airports, they're always absolutely class. We're going to start off over here. And, well, let's see what sort of trouble we can get ourselves into. So, we'll bring the time of day back. We'll make it normal weather. And let's go out and check out this aircraft. So, what do we have here from Miltech Simulations? The A-1 Skyraider. They've made this in partnership with Blackbird Simulations. It's a legendary aircraft renowned for the rugged design, unmatched versatility, and its ability to carry an extraordinary payload. Serving with distinction throughout the Korean and Vietnam Wars, the Skyraider earned its place in history as the ultimate close air support and ground attack platform. It's one of the most important and remembered carrier-based aircraft of the second half of the 20th century, and among few that successfully transitioned to large-scale land-based operations. There was over 3,000 of these built, and for more than 4 decades of service, this was a true workhorse of the US, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to remove those, hop in, and I want to show you what we're all about here.
You need to set parking brakes to request ground services.
Don't mind GSX at the moment. So we're here at Halfpenny Green Airport. This one from Burning Blue Design. And as I say, Burning Blue Design, they always manage to pick these beautiful airports, kind of obscure neck of the woods, not always the very large ones. They tune into a lot of the general aviation ones. And this one in particular, Wolverhampton Halfpenny Green Airport. It was used as RAF Halfpenny Green. Back in the 1940s, and you can see, I mean, just look at the detail, lads. Burning Blue have done some cracker work. Airport interiors, there's a Skoda here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Plenty of parked aircraft as well, tons upon tons of ground objects, and they really do bring the place to life. For instance, like the detail over here, look, right? Al's Autos. Buy yourself an auto from Al's Autos. I wonder, should we ring Al's? Right. Texas One Flyboy, thank you very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. 42 months. The man is a legend. So just look around the whole airfield here. Isn't this class? Like the detailing, right? Anyone name that airplane? Ooh. But you really do get a sense of, yes, kind of like a typical RAF airport. And then you can kind of see where it moved on into, like, general aviation public. They do dog swimming here. Hang on. Open Wednesday to Sunday. Group swims and... Wait, what? Dog swimming? Hello? Can I bring me dog for a swim? But yeah, nice models of what's here on the ground as well. Like, this is the detail to go into. Like, literally phone numbers on the O. It looked like a Provost. It is a Provost. Plenty of cars parked around. Plenty of buildings. Decals on the buildings to give you an idea of what's going on. Right? All the fuel filling station, that's all custom made. Custom weather socks. They do an absolute load of stuff here, lads. It's very, very impressive. Tons of parked cars here as well. Also have some rescue helicopters. This is very, very nice indeed. Burning blue. I mean, they never fail to impress. It's gorgeous, isn't it? There's a Skoda here somewhere, I'm sure of it. We'll come over now to the Owl Airport office and where the canteen is. That class, isn't it? Custom weather station here, look. The tower. Oh, you divvied it. In we go into the little tower. That's very good, isn't it? How are the men? Do not use lighting switches due to work in progress on the lights. Uh-oh. Don't press the big red button, effectively.
I put the car in.
Oh, Texas One Flyboy, thank you very much indeed for the 5 gifted tier 1 subs. Cheers, buddy. Did you see what he did, lads? The man is a legend. Thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub with thanks to Texas One Flyboy, well, do be sure to say thank you. What an absolute ledge. Look at this. Super digital. What do you think of it? It's very pretty, isn't it? But you can see where the old aerodrome was. I mean, they're the old original buildings, right? But you can kind of see the layout where the hangars were, the control tower, and no doubt then you would have had the barracks off to one side as well. In fact, there's the original World War II runway look. Look at that. This is a very nice little airfield. It's only gorgeous. And of course, we do have heli maintenance down here as well. PDG are on site. Yep. Aviation Services. And that is the National Police Air Service. Now, lads. Absolutely brilliant. Like, just a gorgeous little airport. Quick look at the night lighting, and then we'll go over to the Skyraider. And, Zach, I hope I'm not delaying you. But I'm going to delay you, but only for a bit. Ooh. It's basic, but it's nice. Oh, the hangars close, of course. The hangar doors close after like 8 o'clock or something. It's class, isn't it? Love this. Absolutely love it. So yeah, there's no runway lighting. But I think that's kind of where it's... Oh, there is. There is runway light. Sort of, kind of. Not full lit, but yeah, enough going on. But it's certainly a good spot for a chopper base, isn't it? Right, now let's do one of these. And welcome to the Skyraider. Now, the detailing on this, I was very impressed. The texture work was gorgeous. The liveries are gorgeous. But the size of the airplane, this thing is a friggin' machine. It's huge. It is massive. There's a Cessna beside us. Look at this, like, hello? Like, massive size difference, right? It's huge, but there's loads of detailing on it. They've done a great job on the visuals. Now, you'll notice we're not carrying any ordnance just yet. We can do all that from inside the aircraft itself, all right? But it's done very, very well. Plenty of detailing here. You know, looking at it, this is a vintage aircraft. There's nothing new about this. It's very much, you know, worn, torn, and you know, rough and ready, and I do like that because it's very, very nice, you know. It is very, very pretty, and as I say, like, nice texture work, dirt and grimy. All the different liveries that you can get with the aircraft are spot on. Commander DE Sparks, great name. Single pilot operation, and I think they have an update coming out later on this evening, you know. Is it normal for average hand or average size hands? Yeah, you lot, great bunch of lads. Right, let us jump into the cockpit. Now I might change the time of day so we can actually see what's happening, will we? Well, Murph, you made it darker. Here, Sawdust. We'll just, right, so what do we have in here? Well, loads of stuff. Left hand side we have fuel and oxygen. Coming up we have our engine controls, canopy controls, jettison controls. Moving along the side we also have flap indication. We have our mags. We have all our engine instruments. We have our weapon systems, and yes, there are weapons on this, right? We also have a gun sight. We have a working radar, just like a scope. We have electrical panel down here, an engine start, and we have our internal lights, radio communications, and then we have our heating controls. Very nice indeed. So what we're going to do, our little tray here, when we turn on the battery, so we're going to go external power, battery, And we have a nice little map here for planning where we want to go, but we also have the loadout. So this is where we select the type of ordnance we want and where we're going to put it. So what I'm going to do, because I'm kind of half mad, I'm going to go for some rockets. So let me see, we're going to go 1, 2, and we'll do 1, 2. So there's some rockets. We're also going to put some guns and fill the ammunition up. And we're going to go for some fuel tanks here as well, just to give it the look. Be careful of your total weight as well. So once I have all that clicked on, if I go back outside the aircraft, you're going to see all our ordnance is now loaded in, complete with rockets. Very fancy. So in order to get this machine into action, it's done very, very well. So we're going to come down here. We're going to go to our main fuel tank. We're going to select the main tank. Fuel booster coming on. You have audio for everything. Go ahead and get that mixture up and running. Nice tray table to eat your hyper-preserved chocolate bar. Or what were the other ones? The boiled sweets, right? The boiled sweets. Alright, so mixture's going to go in. Flaps, leave them alone for the moment. Mags can go to both. Weapon system, we're leaving it off. Audio beacon, that's to do with the damage model. So if you turn that off, you'll actually turn off the damage. It simulates damage, right? So be careful. Flight instruments, go ahead and bring some lights up. Non-flight instruments. Console lighting. Just a bit of background stuff. Circuit breakers, unfortunately, not modelled. Fuselage, go ahead and bring them on. Wing lights, tail, formation lights, compass, go ahead and bring all these lads on. We can also get our transponder. Let me see. There we go. Master radio come on. We're looking good here, looking good there. Looking good here, and we're looking good there. Gun sight, we might as well turn that on for the crack. And we'll turn it on nice and bright. Polder, good evening. Welcome in. Chili mac and cheese, right? Can we drop the pointy bangy thingies? Indeed, we can. We absolutely can, lads. Formula fan, good to see you, buddy. Haven't they done a good scenery with Manchester? They have. We're going to be checking that one out now in about 5 minutes. What else do you want to do here now? Here's the scope I was telling you about. You just need to turn the divel on. You know, as we go mad with some buttons. Okay, we're looking good here. Right, to start this machine, very straightforward. We press and hold the starter. Yeah, right. Power is set. Prop is up. Oxygen on. Valve open. And bit of primer.
Oh, Jesus.
And let's see what happens here, friends. Are we ready, sports fans? So, starter, clear prop. And let's wait. The sounds of this now. Echo 19, right? Let it energize. Wait for it. Okay, so the external power off. We're on internal power. Generator is on. Fuel booster off. Isn't this something, isn't it? Have a listen now, look. So we have cowl flaps we can operate. Right, who's in charge of this thing? Now, before we go any further, weapons, yes, arm them. Arm them all. Singles, that's grand. Outboard, inboard. Now, just remember, you know, don't let them off while we're on the ground. Alright, bit of movement here. Look at the height we are over the Cessnas, look. Jesus, lads. Isn't it ridiculous? The size and scale of this thing is absolutely nuts. Well done, Murphy. Make life awkward on yourself. Easy now, Jemima. She's rattly, she really is. This thing is awesome. Radios are trying to self-implode below 1,000 RPM. Oh, really? You see, so Chunky's in the chat here, lads. We're going to be chatting to Zach in a moment. Chunky is a crew chief on an amazing aircraft. I'll let him chat to you about it. But when the man says he knows a thing or two about radials, he knows a thing or two about radials. Josh, you're very welcome in. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, airlock, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, I don't know what runway to go for. Are they all the same size? We'll find out together. Easy now. Have we a notch of flaps? We have. We have. Now listen, this could go terribly wrong, but let's see what happens, right? So line ourselves up. And just see the gun sight. We can actually change the sight. Look at that. Deadly, right? Right, let's see what happens here. Sound coming in. Kazaka, welcome in. Right, power. Jesus. Do you hear it? Alright, speed live. Slowly. $70. 80. Am I going to run out of runway? Oh dear. Oh dear. Get up quick. Oh no, I've stalled it on takeoff. So you know what I say to you, right?
Hello there.
Do you know what I say to you? Any plane that kills you on takeoff is a good plane.
Hello there.
Right, that'll need to go back into...
refund?
Yes, that needs to go back into the shop.
It's not the plane. It's the pilot.
That's why I can't have nice things.
Serious shit.
Right. I know what to do. I'll fix it. Did I go for the wrong run? I did, look. I picked the short runway. Murph, they're all the same size.
They've done studies, you know. 60% of the time, it works. Every time.
Listen, let's pretend for a moment. You know, it's only us. There's no one else here. Let's pretend this didn't happen. Drop the pay! Drop!
I've been drinking like a mad Egypt.
Let's pretend none of that happened. And we're now going to, for the first time, attempt to take off on this machine, right? I just need to configure the gadget. Right, look at the smoke and everything. Yes! Now, there's one thing I would ask Miltech to fix. And that is, if you do manage to prop strike it, it's shagged. You need to go back to the start menu and try again, right? So just be aware of that. Right, hang on now. That's all part of the plan. It was a feature I needed to show you, you know. Come back here now. I'm not going to bother with the fuel tanks because I think they were weighing me down. Yep. That's what it was. The fuel tanks were weighing us down and not all our glorious ammunition. So I left you in this position. Turn on all the weaponry. Quickly. Single mode, yes. Right. So for the first time, we're about to take off. Now we're thrashing, look. Oh. Speed live. Yes, this is way
Dreamy,
better.
sleepy, nighty, snoozy snooze.
North. 90 knots. 100. Get up, see Daisy. Yes. You're up. Flaps in. Ease the power. That's what I meant to do the first time, but you know, things went terribly bad, right? Look at this behemoth of a machine, though. Absolutely brilliant. Any aircraft that tries to kill you on takeoff, right? What does this button do? Oh, Jesus, they were rockets of fire. Listen. Did you see it? The rocket! Hang on, the button sounds shagged. Let's fix it. Now you're talking. Look at those 20mm cannons, look. Now, I don't think it gives us any kind of like, you know, exploding stuff on the ground of that. But overall, right, what you're looking at here, apart from the muppetry that 'twas I that crashed this on takeoff, this is a beautiful, beautiful plane. And you can... Wait, you can't! Look! I'm setting the place on fire, look! Oh, Jesus! Oh, wait! Where's that going to impact? Oh, no! Don't hit your man's gaff, he'd be raging! There she goes, look! Into the trees! We have a splashdown! Jesus, I didn't know they did that, lads, look! Right, right. Oh my God, look at all the fires I've started. Oh, mother of God, they'll never allow me, look! The whole place is in smithereens! Jesus! Blowing up the place I am! It's quite okay. Don't worry about... we rang ahead. Yes, they said, yeah, no problem, Murph. Yeah. They actually wanted, you know, things to happen out here. Isn't that cool, though, isn't it? It's an aircraft that looks great, flies great, tons of simulation on it, and of course weapons then to bait the band. It's very, very good. This is a solid release. It's available right now. You can pick it up over on the Miltech Simulations website. €21.95, lads. €21.95 for an absolute barrelload of fun, right? No, I don't think you can see that in multiplayer. No, only in single. Look at the mess I've made. Look. Jesus. But it's very good, isn't it? Like, you definitely have fun with the old mission gadget in from Miltech, wouldn't you? And you've bombs and everything with the thing. It's pretty cool, right? So that is the Skyraider. A quick introduction. We're going to be flying this aircraft anyway in one of the streams coming soon. Do you know? Now, our last little thing, and then, Zach, I'm after delaying you 20 minutes. Our last little thing to look at briefly, and then we're going to be joining Zach, because we're going to be talking all things MOZA. So, lads, if you have any questions for MOZA, in a few moments, we're going to be having a chat with Zach. Now, I want to have a quick look here at Manchester. Because this is a brand new release from iniBuilds. Now, the version I'm running, lads, this is a pre-release, so it's possible you might find one or two visual things. No, don't worry, Super Ty. We will be in Klamath Falls, loaded in with Zach. See, right? Not just a hat rack. It's flat out busy tonight, but that's what we want. Right. Jesus, wait till Gav hears that I'm after crashing the Skyraider on takeoff. He's going to say, like, all I can say is, lads, that machine, if you're into your warbirds, get it. It's brilliant. It is brilliant. The Skyraider is brilliant. And the price is awesome as well. So, we'll jump back into the Skyraider briefly, only to jump back out of it again. Right now. There we go. And welcome to iniBuilds Manchester. Now, if anyone's familiar with the airport, you'll look, it'll, you know, straight at home.
Need to set parking brakes to request
And if you come on down here, this is where they have some of the experiences. So they have, for example, Concorde is down here. They have a big playground. They have a BAE 146. They also have the Hawker Nimrod, and then a something else in the background. And what's pretty cool here is the detail that iniBuilds go into. Like, they just go into an alarming rate of detail. And it's highly optimized as well. Right? It's just highly optimized. And yes, before you ask, they have put Skoda in the scenery because I asked them nicely.
Hello there.
So we have some Skodas, which is cool, right? Draken, welcome in. Hope you're well. So if you ramble over here, this is pretty cool because you have the observation area, and you have where airliners live hang about. This is the little station, look, right? It's fierce narrow, isn't it? I didn't know it was that narrow, but that's where you'll catch the lads, and they've put in some stuff going live soon and all the jazz, right? Upstairs is the same, right? Show starting soon. And there's one of the lads there with the camera set out on the runway. Not deadly, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Down here then, this is where you have the Concorde experience, and they've actually built the Concorde in 3D. You can get in and have a look at it, right? Then they have the playground. There's a BAE 146 over there, or it could be an Avro RJ. And all of that is done just to like savage detail, including a lot of the surrounding buildings, like the logistics parks, all the DHL. They have signature flight support. They have the retail park, but then they have the airport itself with its 2 main runways, and it's done to just like look at the ground textures, lads. Like, it's spot on here at the right altitude. Look. What is a Skoda? It's the equivalent to the greatest thing you've ever driven. Or even slightly better. But anyway, as we look around here, the one thing I will say about Manchester is I think this has been very easy on frames, which is an important thing because, you know, when you get to a busy airport, and Manchester houses it all, A380s, A350s, you'll see it, even a 74 at the odd time. STS have a hangar here for maintenance. Jet2 Holiday have maintenance facilities here. It's a huge airport. Donata is there. There's tons of logistics buildings, tons of kind of clutter, ground equipment, ground vehicles. Then we move up towards the concourses, the terminals. And of course, yes, there's all interiors with these as well, fully modeled. Like, this is a massive, massive airport, right? Massive airport. And you might get that LOD loading in. First time you load it in, especially I'm moving around in a drone camera, that's how the new tech in 2024 works with this new active LOD stuff. But you can see from the detailing, lads, isn't it absolutely excellent? Is Manchester Airport, right? Excellent. Even as you move on then to the main building, look at this, look. I mean, look at the detail they've gone into. It's a mix of that fancy kind of the plexiglass, as I call it, with 3D objects thrown in there as well. And I think it's made a huge difference, look. Isn't it very good? Tons of detail. All the car parking, there should be 2 of those, I think. All the buses are there. Tons and tons of things to see. And if we move up this neck of the woods, there's more car parks, right? Terminal 2 meet and greet. Look at the detail over here, look. Like, iniBuilds, they just know what they're doing, don't they? Change the time of day here. Yep, you devil you. Here we go. We'll make it nighttime now in a moment. Like, you'll see there are some tech, like, look at the car, for example. I mean, you know, if you get right up close to it, you're going to see pixels on it. But the idea being is, I mean, you know, it's all about building optimization, and it is one thing I'll say about this place. It's highly optimized. It also comes with a lot of options in the ini manager, so you can get in and turn things on and off. But it's great to see, like, that, like, this is like staggering detail. They've knocked it out of the ballpark with this one, I think. Incredible attention to detail. All the hotels are there, of course. Holiday Inn. Muse, I was only saying to you about, should we go there for the a day trip and then maybe stay over? Do you know? Radisson Blue, the walking concourse, you have the train station then as well. All the surrounding buildings are there. Again, you have more car parks, right? You have the control tower, fully, like, it's all done. And it's done to a very, very high standard. Even down here, look. Isn't it very good, lads, isn't it? This is a great airport. Great airport. No tower interior. Interesting. But imagine that's down to just keeping the... Oh, wait. Now, is that the ground tower? Yeah, it is. Hang on. They do have a tower interior. Extremely nice. Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Look at this. Like, iniBuilds have absolutely smashed it, I think. I mean, look how happy she is, right? It's very, very good, lads. Right? It's absolutely brilliant. Now, speaking of where we want to go, we want to come down here, look. So if you follow all through the main buildings, all the... look, the sheer amount of stuff here, isn't it fantastic? But we want to get down here, because here is, friends, where we want to be ourselves, right? So we'll come on down here now, you know, for science. And we'll come down to the airport pub, house and grill, right? So if we ramble in, they've actually done the interior of the pub. A burger and pint meal deal for £4.50. Where would you get it, right? So they've done the interior of the pub. Isn't that only class, right? Absolutely brilliant. Menus up on the walls, look. And then you can come on out back into the, out to the beer garden. And like, just look at how close they are in terms of seeing stuff. I mean, they're right there at the edge of the runway. How friggin' mad is that? Isn't it only brilliant? And it's all modelled to a very, very high standard. And as I said, performance here is excellent. Absolutely excellent. So if we bring up some night lighting, just to give you an idea of how it all looks at night time. Well, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the lighting there. It is superb. Runway lighting, taxiway lighting, it's all custom. Taxiway signage is all done. It's absolutely class. And if we go in for our, you know, pièce of résistance, maybe this will work, maybe it won't work. Sometimes I could be lucky. Let's see here now. Let's hup you devil, yeah, and hup you devil, and here we go. Need we say any more? Would you look at the state of it? Their texture work is just brilliant, isn't it? I mean, look at that, lads. Absolutely incredible.
Jesus.
If we move down here, we say, like, when you look at more of these buildings together, look. I mean, it's almost like looking at a friggin' photograph, isn't it? Look at the detail. Superb. Absolutely superb. So, iniBuilds Manchester, I believe they've just released it this evening. Make sure you grab it, lads, because it is very, very, very good. It's very good. I mean, look at the detailing even over here, look. Look at the state of that, look. It's savage. The lighting is superb. The texture, everything. It is superb, lads. Let's go over here to where Swissport are. I mean, look at that. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Donata is here as well. Look at the reflection of the blue lights, look. Stunning. So, well done, iniBuilds. An absolute home run, I think, when it comes to Manchester. And I think a lot of folks are going to enjoy flying in and out of here. Well, just expect it to be busy. Because it's a huge facility. It's a massive airport. I didn't think it was that big. It's very big, look. It's huge. It's still going, look. So, an absolute masterpiece from iniBuilds. They've done a great job here. Absolutely brilliant. Right, moving on. We're nearly there. I told you this would take a while. Now, for our last section, lads, we're going to be inviting Zach onto the blower. And I'll press some buttons over here. And while we're doing this, we're going to load up. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry for keeping you half the night. I hope you're well.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
We're not too bad. We're not too bad. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to load in to an old trusty Cessna, and we're going to head over to a place called Happy Camp, which is in Klamath Falls. But what we're going to do, well, effectively, we're just going to be chatting all things MOZA. So I'm joined on the line here by Zach, also known as Chunky Aviation on Discord. And Zach, I suppose. The introduction, I mean, we caught up at Flight Sim Expo. You were there with all the incredible MOZA equipment, and you gave us a snapshot into what to expect from MOZA over the coming weeks, months, and indeed years, because they've aggressively jumped onto the flight sim market with some incredible bits of kit. We've seen it already from the AB9, but now with the AB6 just released, and I got to say, at our Dublin event, with the AB6, that was wildly popular, as of course was the AY210 yoke. So how are things going?
Well, I mean, they're going pretty good. Obviously, you know, with the release of the AB6, we're trying to build the AB6 and the MTQ, the throttle quadrant there. We're trying to build an ecosystem not only for those who are looking to create a simulator that's, you know, some of our more advanced simmers or simmers who would like to, as you know, the hobby gets quite expensive, but our simmers who want to build a significantly higher, you know, end system, but also those who are desktop simmers are looking for modularity or, you know, an entry into force feedback, which is kind of where the AB6 fits the gap, as you know, as we've talked about as well. Sorry about that. Where we've talked about as well, the AB6 is kind of a whole package for a not really break the bank price. But you know, we do have additional products coming out in the nearest future. I can't really talk about them at this time. But you know, we have a lot of exciting things on the horizon, especially for our general aviation simmers.
So, some of the feedback we're getting, like everything, we turn on a camera here now just to show the AB6 in place here on the screen. And I think for some folks, the challenge so far is there was like an ordering window. I think the first batch of these units, there was a certain date people had to order them by. They're then worked on. Now it's moved into the second batch. So I think a lot of people are saying, look, you know, I've ordered the unit. When might I expect, if I've ordered in the last fortnight, when might I expect a delivery? Are we talking, is it into the weeks or further? Like, how's the impact on logistics been? Because I don't know, were the orders something that you guys had kind of forecasted, or, you know, have you been kind of taken back by, whoa, there's a lot of demand for this equipment?
Yeah, I mean, I was taken aback at how popular the AB6 was right off the get-go. As for when to expect the units, that's not something I can say with certainty right now. I know typically we try to get things out within a month, trying to shorten that, and we're also obviously, you know, as any company is in the space, looking to expand our our distribution network to make things a little bit more efficient. But you know, I think ideally we weren't necessarily expecting how popular both the MTQ and the AB6 were going to be right off the get-go. So unfortunately, I can't provide any details right now on estimated shipping dates, but I mean, I can certainly follow up with our team and see if I can get you some.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Answers.
Yeah, no, of course. And like anyone from our own community, guys, I mean, if it is the case, if you do have questions, let us know. We'll create our own little MOZA channel, and if there's anything there, we can ask Zach when he's time, hey, can you try your eye on that, or where are we at, or what might happen? The advantages, of course, of the community-driven stuff. But Zach, I mean, from the perspective of MOZA, and you and I have spoken about this at length, I mean, you're working with a team developing hardware peripherals, but what you bring to the table, as I said before, it's not just the flight simulation background, for which you have tons and tons and tons, but also real world flying and the crew chief stuff that you do. So maybe give us an introduction into your real world side of everything about the aviation.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I do that, I did just want to say, I joined MOZA. I came from the flight simulation community. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. I understand the frustrations of getting support sometimes. I just want to put out there, as the business development manager for North America and, handling a lot of Europe right now as well, my messages are always open. You can send me a direct message. No promise is going to get answered right away, but I do my best to, respond there. Our Discord's a great resource. I'm in Murph's Discord as well if you want to tag me there. Very, very focused on being connected with the community and making sure that there's a bridge there between the company and the community. And, coming from an esports background as well, MOZA's, very committed to community support as well and community engagement. So just wanted to put that out there. But as for, my experience in the sim, quite extensive there. I'm an instrument rated pilot here in the United States, flying a lot of general aviation, several hundred hours now across, 25 different general aviation airframes, high performance, complex, tailwheel.
Hello there.
Some aerobatic time. It's something that I spend a lot of time and a lot of money doing, and then try to bring that over into the sim as well. But we were talking about radials earlier. That's something that's very near and dear to my heart. So I grew up here. There's a museum that has a lot of flying exhibits. Have had them my entire life. We had a B-17 up until recently, but I currently am a crew chief on a B-25D and C-47, true C-47, not a DC-3 conversion. And ideally looking to fly him one day, but that's currently kind of what I do. Super involved in volunteer puppy rescue flights as well. That's something I picked up about 6 months ago, and I've been doing a lot of those.
Yeah, we were chatting about that. So I mean, literally, it's like it's air ambulance for animals, right? I mean, it's bringing pets from either into care, out of care, into get a procedure done, which is its own challenge as well, because they can't exactly tell you how your flying is going, so you need to kind of figure out, well, temperature has to be good for them, handling has to be good for them, but you're also racing against the clock doing that type of work as well.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a mix. Some of them are coming for care. A lot of the flights I've been doing recently are more so kind of funneling a lot of kittens and a lot of puppies from down south in the U.S., especially from Georgia and Florida. A lot of the shelters down there are kill shelters, and bringing them up here to Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, where they don't necessarily have a whole lot of kill shelters, and a lot of times they're already pre-adopted. So. And no veteran, it was the Yankee lady. It was purchased by a collector on the West Coast who's restoring it to original World War II condition instead of ride and upgraded condition.
Nice. SayIntentions are doing some Air Carolines now, correct and right, Malky? Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm doing just here in the camera is just giving it a quick recalibration, because I haven't calibrated this since we had it in Dublin. I'm sure everyone had a blast of it with the AB6. A question came in there from Cyrus, just asking, can you buy a base on its own? But I think the idea behind the AB6, it's priced that, well, you get the base, you get the stick, and you get the desk mount, all part as one. But the question, can you put third-party sticks onto it? You absolutely can. I mean, it's compatible with Thrustmaster, it's compatible with Verbal, that's pretty much it. But it is compatible with those. So if you like, yes, you can change sticks around, or even change the MOZA sticks around. So that all works. I suppose what makes this all fascinating, Zach, is because you have the real-world experience and you have the sim experience. What blew my mind was profiles, and I keep raving about these profiles because I just think these are genius. I mean, the hardware itself, basic profiles, they're fine, right? You'll get a nice experience, but the key to unlocking the real potential of this hardware is going through the settings, going through the different profiles, right? So I have on the screen here just some settings that I can mess around with. Now, I have this particular yoke setup stick setup that it's going to respond to various things because I'm using profiles, right? So if I go into my profiles here and we load in different ones, you'll see that lights change and the aircraft all starts acting and responding very, very differently. Now, it is deciding to jump around and shake on its own, but we'll fix all that now when we start up this machine and you'll see what happens, right? So
just had to turn on the base that's sitting behind me so I can walk through the software with you.
All right, yeah. So, well, with the software, now the stick will shake depending on, and I'm going to show you this briefly here. So what I've done, I've made two profiles for the AB6 when it comes to the Cessna. I have an old as I call it, 172 old, and that's why you see so much movement with the stick, because it's reacting to the engine, in which the engine is, I'm trying to simulate that the engine is turning that little bit rougher, that little bit harder, there's more of a shake, there's less dampening, right? And if I were to change that, we say, to a new 172, flick of a button, I mean, you can see it visually, the difference that the stick is moving. Right. There's also there's settings in the MOZA cockpit of how much you want to apply in terms of the telemetry. So the telemetry, if you put it on to, you have all different effects here that we can play with, and also how we operate, how the software, is it using its own data, pulling it from the sim, or is it using purely, its own telemetry. You can use both, or you can actually match them together. So it'll use what the sim is giving it versus what it's reading, or it'll match both of them or mix them in together. It basically just means it gives you a lot of control over what sort of profiles you want. And I suppose what we might do tonight, Zach, is when we look at some of the settings we have from the aircraft, right? So we can, there's a keyword there. We'll turn off the filters. Effect source. There we go. So we've all this here. Confirm that.
Hello?
Can you hear me, yeah?
I can hear you now, yep.
Sweet. We've all these different effects in which that we can use, and I want anyone watching. We have the stick shown on camera here. You're going to see what happens when we start playing with these things. So, for example, we have pilot feel, a deceleration effect, stick shaker. That's more to do with your stall. G-force, stall buffet is there that we want, but this transonic buffet. Tell us about that. I mean, that's more to do with kind of shock on the wing, isn't it, or shock to the wing flow?
So I'm actually just starting to learn a lot about jet aerodynamics. So from my understanding, as airflow speeds up, it creates more intense ripples across. So I mean, do you want me to answer this from a software perspective or a aviation perspective?
Aviation, because I mean, the way this all kind of works, we dial this then back into the sim, because we'll find the settings. Like, we'll say, oh, hang on, look, there's a way that we can figure out what everything's doing here.
So transonic airflow. Yeah. So essentially what this is kind of, how do I explain this? So are you familiar with like the principles of lift? Because that would make this very easy to explain.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so essentially what this is simulating is as you speed up the aircraft, the airflow around the aircraft becomes supersonic, while other parts, especially parts that are being exposed to a high amount of things like parasitic or induced drag, are still traveling subsonic. So that's kind of that shaking that you see or would feel in an aircraft as it accelerates, but also, it's almost the same principle that creates, like if you've ever seen a Super Hornet, it has so many pieces sticking off of it that it occasionally can create 10 different areas of vapor, for example. So essentially all of this is simulating is the turbulent air, some of it supersonic, which is the smoother air, but some of it subsonic, which is the less smooth air. And then after you reach your critical Mach is kind of when that will dissipate. So you'll have, the acceleration, the transonic buffet, the sudden pressurized shot cones, etc., and then smoothness. So if you hop in DCS and you take a F-14 from subsonic to transonic to supersonic, you'll notice lots of vibrations, a lot of vibrations, and then no vibrations, essentially.
Sweet.
So it's simulating that in the stick.
Yeah. And so in the basic force feedback settings that we're using here, right, this is where you dial it in for user preference. So for example, folks are used to using another brand, be it Thrustmaster with the Warthog, right, and that had a very strong return spring, or at least whenever you moved, as soon as you let go of the control, it wanted to recenter. You can mimic the same style if that's what you like. It's the more realistic aircraft, but they don't have a sharp spring unless you get into like F-16 stuff. But you can, basically what I'm saying is you can replicate pretty much anything you're already using in terms of its behavior. with the added bonus of adding in force feedback effects into the device itself, right? So a quick demonstration of this would be if I were to, ease off on the spring here and a couple of settings. Well, my baby finger can move this stick anywhere and it'll pretty much stay where I put it because there's no spring involved, right? If I bring the spring back up and bring our settings back up, you can see that it's already recentered. I'm finding this very difficult to move it now. Baby finger can't move it far. And this is the AB6. I mean, the AB9, which is stronger than this, there's still plenty of force with the AB6. I mean, right now, this takes a fair bit of movement to be able to get it to where you want. And you're feeling you're feeling the rumbling of the engine. You're feeling all of these forces, be it from the aircraft and the environment, or both, back into it as well. So when it comes to your experience, Zach, when you're flying, I think you had mentioned this to me before. One of the eye openers with this hardware was the stall buffet. It was actually experiencing that in a consumer flight sim for the first time, because I mean, think of flight training. I mean, this actually has application for real world flight training now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things that I was impressed with when I first tried out the MOZA hardware, I first came on board and got to try it out, was its ability to simulate the regime changes from pre-stall to kind of that transitional stall period to the post-stall, where previously you'd pull back on the yoke, you'd go up, stall horn would go off, and then you'd see the airplane just kind of fall in many cases. And Microsoft Flight said the wing would dip for whatever reason and you'd spin. But, in a real aircraft, any airplane really, especially training aircraft, you kind of go up for that stall, the controls become soupy, and then you experience that buffet. And that's something that you can simulate with this hardware, and something that I was very impressed with as well. So, like, if you go up right now and you were to go into a stall, what you should feel is the controls start to slowly become more soupy, is the best way to describe it. You can throw it into a full range of motion with very little change until you go into that post stall with the buffet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll test it, shall we? And as I say, this is where the fun comes when we talk about the profiles, because you can go for a flight and you say, yeah, everything feels great, but maybe you're missing sensations, or it's doing stuff you're probably not fully okay with. The advantage is now when you start using your force feedback and you can start dialing in the likes of all the different profiles and settings. I mean, Zach, you could, if you wanted to, Murph, I see you like flying Cessnas. Well, here's a Cessna I flew last weekend. It was a 1967 Cessna Model T. And, the controls felt so loose. The engine rattle was so strong. How can you handle that? I challenge you to try and fly that. And that's what the profiles open the door to. Or you could say, Murph, I've just come back from wherever. I've flown a brand new aircraft. Everything felt very responsive. It was snappy. It was sharp. You could create a profile, give it to me, and then I'm able to experience pretty much what you've done flying through the controls.
Absolutely.
Like, it's nuts.
And one thing about stalling again is when you're practicing stalls. So a lot of training aircraft, like DA-40s, for example, have something like stall strips, which essentially cause a more pronounced soupy effect, but also a more stable stall, because it causes, at least training stalls, it causes the wing root to stall before the wing tip. Which allows you to keep, that roll control for a significantly longer amount of time post stall. So that's even something that you could potentially tune into a profile, right? If you're going from flying a V-tail Bonanza, you could simulate the not great stall characteristics of a V-tail Bonanza, or the consistent buffeting that you have in a V-tail. Or you could simulate a DA-40 where you can pull the nose to the sky, it stalls, and it'll just stay nose up and fall to the ground forever with aileron control because you have stall strips. So that's something that you could potentially simulate as well.
So a question coming in here from Big Al asking, Murph, can you ask Zach, is there a difference between feeling of the AB9 or the AB6? Some streamers say there are. So they're talking about, this was mentioned the other night, they were talking about the feeling of cogs underneath. I mean, what's your experience with that, Zach?
So I have a pre-production model of the AB6. I do know that as it's been stated on Reddit and such, that there were some units that got out that were pre-production that may have had a more coggy feeling. However, it is a mechanical device, right? There are belts, there are motors in there. This unit is aimed at the more entry-level simmer, the desktop simmer, the simmer who's not necessarily going to be flying an F4 Phantom for full immersion or still an immersive device. But again, it's meant for the entry-level simmer. It's meant to kind of, the AB9 is a monster, right? So the AB6 is meant more to fill that desktop simmer gap, so it's a little bit smaller, downsize on the motors, and it's 3 Newton meters less of force. So of course it's going to be a little bit more, the motors aren't going to quite be as big. And it's more so, the only time you really feel that mechanical feeling is if you turn off all the force feedback.
Yeah.
If you have force feedback enabled, the motors are fighting back, so you'll never feel the motors rolling. In practical everyday use.
Like, I suppose, like, just me even taking off, like, I have it set to, like, I can feel the flaps move. I'm getting that extra shake, that extra feedback. And then when I'm trimming, I can almost get it to the stage where, I can feel where the bite is. And if I let go, purely without even looking at the screen, I know I can let go because I'm not getting that resistance and the plane is going to fly level. Like, it's mad what this thing can do. And of course then it follows autopilot mode, which I thought was just nuts altogether. I mean, we can even fire this up. We gave a demonstration on this already, but if we were to go, say, heading mode, right, and without me touching it, we should see this guy starting to, roll to the right a bit. And if it's not, we can exaggerate that, of course, just by going back into the software. We'll pause this in briefly, and just to show you, like, you're very much in control of everything. And that's what I like about this. So if we were to say, right, trim following autopilot, right? So let's see, trim following, yes, and autopilot. And we can really, like, increase this. Roll breakout force, if you wanted to break autopilot, I'd imagine. Pitch follow scale, pitch follow rate, roll follow rate, right? So let's bring these guys up here a little bit, just to show you. And now if I unpause, we should now see movement on the stick, which is probably hard to see because it doesn't take much input. But, like, you can absolutely do it all from within the software. So even when you're flying, you're able to change all of these things directly yourself, which is just brilliant. And we have different parameter settings. I mean, look, we can go for the autopilot, trim following setting for autopilot, or we can go, where's this one now? It's advanced, it's set to trim, and we can just have it on autopilot following. So we can select one or both. But you can edit the things in real time. So I don't know, I just think, like, the application for all of this is just class. And the fact, when you start flying real life and you come back here, then you say, do you know what, I tried do this thing, it worked, or I'm going to go back into the sim and see, what sort of force I can replicate based on the weather, because the environmental effects will impact on how you handle, or the aircraft setting itself. It's absolutely nuts. And I think I can't wait to see, I know you guys have them over on your you have them on your Discord, you have some profiles saved, but, like, it's only a matter of time before we start getting these from aircraft developers, or just, like, mad people who are like, hey, you think you can fly this? Here's a damaged plane or whatever, or, this is the feeling you'll really get if you have one engine out in a twin-engined aircraft. The hardware is going to tell you that story now. Which is brilliant. I mean, what do you find? I know you're flying quite a lot in DCS. I mean, do you have kind of like a go-to aircraft in a different sim that you just say, right, I'm going to use the AB6, for example, or would you go for something like the Yoke with the AI-210, like, or the AY-210? Like, are there certain aircraft, you know, to your liking that you'll jump at?
Yeah, I mean, the A2A Comanche is definitely one of them. I fly that thing a lot. I'll say lately I've been flying a lot more yoke-based aircraft.
Yeah.
The DC-3, obviously, a love of mine, especially with the Duckworks mod, which I didn't know existed until you showed me.
It's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, still a little upset there's no direct drive starters. There's still just the mesh starters, but yep, I love that thing with the mod especially. It makes it a lot more real feeling, I think. In DCS world, I'll say I very much like using the AB6 for helicopters. Specifically the grip, because it feels very much like a helicopter grip. I think it does helicopters very well. If I was flying something like the F-14, probably the AB6 as well, just because I think the AB6 does a very good job at simulating non-fly-by-wire aircraft. The AB9, though, I mean, they're not exactly comparable products in the sense that, you know, one is aimed more towards the entry to mid-level and one's the entry to mid-level desktop simmer, and the other one's aimed towards the, you know, the higher end or more advanced simmer, or the simmer with a lot more money to spend as well. But I think the AB6 excels exceptionally with helicopters and exceptionally with non-fly-by-wire aircraft, just from my perspective. Also flying the DA-40 with it's quite nice.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, like I would say, like, for again, a lot of this comes down to kind of budget, right? And that's where the AB6 came from. It came from budget of your pocket, but also budget for space, right? How much space do you have? Are you at a rig? Can your rig hold that sort of weight? Are you at a desk? Can that hold the weight? I mean, they're the two kind of deciding factors. The advantages, of course, I think the AB6 has over the AB9 is you have additional buttons, right? I mean, you actually have controls on the base. Now, if that's not something you need, well, then the AB9 is supreme purely because there's more power available. But from my experience, flying helicopters with the AB6 is an absolute joy. And, like, let's be real about it. You can absolutely jade out your arm from flying with the AB6, depending on the settings that you have. Like, your arm will get sore because you're constantly exerting force on it, or it's giving you feedback and vibrations and shake. You'll get that from the AB6, just as you'll get it quicker on the AB9, but you'll definitely get it on the AB6. And I suppose it's very hard to kind of, to show the translation between force feedback on a screen. It's quite difficult to do. You mean, you might, the eagle eye of you watching, you might see now that I'm getting way more movement on the stick, and the aircraft is responding based on all this movement of travel. That's because I've loaded in the old feeling Cessna, right? When I had the new profile, it was so tight, I needed barely any movement at all. And this aircraft will start following the direction I wanted it in. So, like, if we were to go autopilot now, for example, right? Just to show you, autopilot on, heading. And if I start turning right, you should see this stick moving now, because it's done in such a way the controls are far looser, meaning that it's not about exerting force. You have to physically move them further to respond. So if you look, I'm almost doing full deflection there, left and right. And, the aircraft's responding a little bit, and it's using a little bit of force, but nothing major, right? If I were to change this profile and put it onto, as I call it, the new Cessna, it's a very different story. Look how much, I only have to move to here, and we're getting, like, that's not even full deflection. Look at the yoke. If we want to go full deflection, that requires a lot of force from me. A lot of physical force for me to get the stick all the way over right or all the way over left. In order to achieve the same thing. So it's very hard to see it. It's when you feel it. And that's what makes me excited for even aircraft developers coming along saying, this is how the aircraft will actually feel. And I think you know, the advantages over a joystick versus a yoke. The joystick gives you opportunities across all flying, be it rotary or fixed wing. The yoke is great for fixed wing, particularly then if you want to do some training with it. But for me, I think the stick is great because if you want to fly helicopters, for example, you'll find your chopper flying skills increase. You'll start becoming more accurate because you're actually getting feedback on what the environment is doing on the chopper, but also what your chopper is doing. For the first time, you're actually feeling that rather than how it's always been, you have to look at the screen to get the visual cue to figure out what's going on. And that's always been a real challenge in flight sims. So, I mean, that's what we want. We want to see more of that. Like, I don't know, it's like, I mean, do you dabble much with helicopters? I mean, in Microsoft Flight Sim, would you spend some time messing around?
Yeah, I have in the Bell. I mean, I fly the Huey and the Apache a lot in DCS. I think those are probably my go-to helicopters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing the base can do exceptionally well for helicopters is there's not really a whole lot of resistance from the cyclic in a helicopter in real life. So, you know, you can remove that tension and use things like force trim so that the stick will center itself sit where you trimmed it at and provide a little bit of force feedback in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
But for helicopters as well, I mean, it can simulate things such as vortex ring state as well, right? That outside of ground effect, if you're flying into your own wash, not a great time.
No, absolutely not. But again, you'll actually, it's like the stall buffet. I mean, you feel it before it happens. And depending on the type of flying that you're doing, I mean, that's absolutely crucial. It's the same, like, you know, we were doing a lot of the short takeoff and landing stuff over the last couple of weeks and did a bit of stuff with e-stall. And knowing when that plane is going to bite, I mean, the stall warn is going to tell you, hey, stall horn is like, you're close to stalling. But, I mean, you can continue on, right? But it's only when you bring it to the edge of the envelope where you can now feel it. Like, I was saying this to the guys at e-stall, I mean, a pilot that has force feedback, I think, has a distinct advantage because they can literally fly it on the edge of the envelope of its flight characteristics before they know it's going to drop the wing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the same thing for something like the F-14 and DCS. It's a very seat-of-your-pants airplane. You can fly the F-14, and that's one that I very much like flying with force feedback because you can pretty much maneuver that thing on the edge of its operating envelope the entire time you fly it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kind of get to know when the buffet is okay, and that fine line between when the buffet is I've lost my wings or I'm gonna fall out of the sky.
It's mad.
Right, so
a couple of questions coming in. Flying Dick says force feedback is a must if anyone wants to tweak to a real world aircraft feel, especially for helicopters. I have the AB9 with the software. They're great. Highly recommended. Yeah. Let me see. Airlock says, can you angle the stick on the AB6 for a center mount? Can you angle the stick for a center mount? What do you mean? As in extended, maybe? Big Al says, will we be able to use extensions on the stick like cyclics?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, so I want to make an important distinction about mounting things to the stick base. There's a locking clip on the bottom of most bases. That I think I showed this to you at FS Expo. Bases without that locking clip do have a little bit of an issue being put on there. Yeah, there you go. This is the Axie module as well that Veteran just put in there. But if your extension has a DIN pass through, realistically, it should be able to mount to the base.
Yes.
So it uses the standard DIN connector.
Grand. So Airlock is saying rotate the stick so between your legs the grip is angled. So if you're looking at the camera now, Airlock, if you mean something like this, I can loosen this. I can literally position this stick to any angle and then use it as is. Is that what you mean? Yeah. I mean, I can literally...
that's...
You know.
I'm guessing that's what he means.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, so the answer is yes. Yes, you can absolutely move it and you just tighten it in. And come here, Zach, remember I was telling you, locking it for the twist lock?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to break it, but then I said this morning, I'll try this again, and it's working 100%. So what I had done, when I first did it, I was like, I don't want to tighten it anymore in case that twist lock doesn't go in. But no, the 2 screws that come with it, they go tight, right? But don't be afraid of it, because when they are, like, that's locked solid, that she doesn't move, like, you know what I mean? Yep. I'll end up like loosening the base quicker than they move. But again, if you want, the fact that you have a twist lock in there as well, it gives you plenty of scope. And of course, as we're talking about, you know, those standard, but maybe shouldn't do it with the power on, but like the likes of Verp will connect in, the likes of, the Thrustmaster stuff will connect in. And of course, if you go with the MOZA gear shift, I mean, you can turn this into a H shifter as well if you want.
Yep.
I think, and I haven't tested it, maybe those who use the gear shifter on an extension, they might have come into a bit of bother because, you know, the force is going to be quite different. I'm unsure. But no, like, I mean, I've been so happy with this. And as I say, it's purely down to, it's the profiles. Flying the one airplane in Microsoft Flight Sim, something as basic as the Cessna 172. You fly one, you've flown them all. But when you throw in something like this, and you can change how that aircraft will feel on any given flight, depending on what you want from it, it is a game changer. You don't get bored of flying these aircraft anymore because you're physically able to change how they feel, which is absolutely nuts. I love it.
Yeah, and so really quick, I wanted to make a quick note about the EB6 and the EB9, because there's a lot of questions about features on both. For all intents and purposes, they all have the same fundamental features. They could both be used as a gear shifter. They have the same ability to do the telemetry effects. The biggest difference between the two is obviously the size of the base, but one is 9 Newton meters, the other is 6, and the EB6 comes with a full package. So what you see right there that Murph is using, the desk mount, the base, and the grip is all one package. Mm-hmm. And the stick has built-in Z-axis that you can lock, which is what he was talking about as well. So they're really the fundamental features are the same in both in terms of the software. But I just wanted to make that distinction because there's been a lot of can you use it as a gear shifter still. I think I saw that in there somewhere in the chat, or that I might be thinking of something else.
The force you feel on the stall is nuts. I mean, the thing just shakes and rattles and rolls, and then you try and recover it. It's so hard to visually see what you're potentially missing out on in terms of how this all feels, lads. Do you know what I mean? Like, any worry from the difference between 6 newtons of torque or meganewtons and 9 like, there's not that much in it. It's nothing that you're going to really write home about. I saw one guy review the AB6 on YouTube, and he was like, it's the difference of having, like, you know, an Alsatian on the lead or a German Shepherd holding him versus, you know, a collie, or like not necessarily a tiny dog, but like it's the same idea. You know, or what did he use? Maybe holding a child back versus holding a dog back. There's definitely more power in the AB9, but like it's nothing that's going to come around. Nothing that's like, you know, you feel what you need to feel with this stuff. Be it the aerodynamics from the prop wash over the elevator, be it from the airflow of, you know, the environment with the wings. You feel all of these things. And like that, as the aircraft speeds up, the controls get tighter because you need to exert a little bit more force on the control surfaces in order to make them interact with the wind. You know what I mean? So the price of this equipment, US, it's what, $399 plus taxes?
Yeah, $399. Plus tax. So that, like I was saying earlier, this package is aimed more at the entry level, mid level simmer and desktop simmer. So it's $399 US plus tax, and that includes the base, the grip, and the desk mount.
And there's no plans as of yet to release a base only, or I mean, it's pretty much the full unit. That's what you pay for. That's what it's marketed as.
So that's what it's marketed as. So it's one SKU. But it includes three items. 3 items,
okay. But also then, I mean, if people already have their own desk mount, if they have, I mean, there's plenty of there's plenty of screw holes on the actual base. It'll fit a lot of stuff. The same has to be for sticks as well. The stick that comes with this, Zach, I don't believe there is a left-hand option as of yet, should there not?
No.
Okay.
There's not currently.
So right hand
and
at the moment.
So the base will fit pretty much anything that has industry standard screw mounting. So your next level racing, your Belaires, etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Airlock saying the AB9 currently on sale right now for $549, so it's $100 more than this. Agreed, but you would still then have to get a mount for the AB9, probably a stick as well. So, but again, it's. I think the biggest thing here to know, lads, it's the difference between both. It's aimed at cost and then size. The difference of 3 newtons of torque. I don't, depending on your flying, of course, and what you want out of it, but I think the AB6 is sufficiently powerful enough as it is to give you an excellent force feedback experience flying. As I said, like, your arm will get tired from flying. It just will, because you're constantly moving things, depending on the settings. And like, you can put things on 100%. I'm not even using 100%, because apart from everything that we have here with MOZA from its own settings, there's multipliers that can be added to all of these after the fact as well. So like, you have a lot of headroom when it comes to all the settings on this. Like, you can really dial things in and exaggerate them, and it's ridiculous what you can do. And the filters then, I mean, as you make all your little changes here, all you need to do is go in and call it a new preset, and then you can export it, share it with your friends. And one thing I particularly like with the presets is when you change them, I mean, you can assign different colors to your presets. So like, if I were to go in here, the base lights are currently red at the moment. If I put this to like the old, they turn blue or teal. So I know just by glancing what profile I have installed for what airplane. And you can do it aircraft specific as well. You know what I mean? Nobody good to see you, buddy. Flight Sim Mods, Shane, welcome in. So like, you can totally tailor these profiles to the aircraft class, the aircraft type. You can role play with it, and the aircraft age, right? Or how well maintained it is. These are all the things you can do. And you know, where other hardware, it all feels relatively the same. If you have a non-force feedback joystick, for example, and you're flying that with every aircraft, yeah, the aircraft is going to have different capabilities or whatnot. It's the same flight stick you're using. It's giving you the same responses. Force feedback is different. It's giving you different responses. Not only is it giving you different ones, you control which ones you want to have. And what I'm excited for, like, Zach, the next time you're out for a spin flying, you know, if you can start replicating a couple of different profiles, and maybe we can set up a couple of landing challenges and kind of see where this thing can go, because you can really change what you think is a basic flight in a Cessna 172 or, you know, a DA-40 or whatever, and then you edit the profile. It will completely transform how that plane flies. Completely. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's certainly differences in the same airplane occasionally with, I mean, okay, so one of the biggest things that you'll notice for, you know, your audience members who may get into GA flying, especially if they're renting an airplane. I moved away from renting. Now I pretty much fly primarily a Piper Arrow 200 now, but one thing you'll notice as you go into different rental planes is the biggest difference is going to be the engines. Engines, I mean, a high time engine's going to vibrate a lot more, especially a high time or a high time engine, or an engine that has magnetos that are on the edge of needing overhaul, for example. So, you know, I've flown some rental airplanes that if you brought the power to complete idle, the engine basically struggled to stay on.
Wow.
But that also comes with significant vibrations, right? So that's one thing you'll notice. Another thing that you can do, and that I've noticed as well in some rental aircraft, is flight control vibrations. Ideally, you don't want that because those can become dangerous very, very fast, especially if they're control linkage related. But yeah, I mean, I could certainly provide some feedback.
It's gas because, like, it's
talk about it.
Yeah, like, and just again, it's some of the options for profiles is great. Flying Dig says V1 Simulations Discord, they have a lot of Airbus profiles on it. Like, I mean, you can really tailor all these specifically to the aircraft that you want. But yeah, man, they're absolutely class. Like, they're brilliant, and like it gives you the power. Like, this is starting to oscillate a little bit up and down. Well, oscillating is probably the wrong movement, but like that means I need to go in and adjust the settings myself because, well, in the real airplane it wouldn't be doing that. But I have the control to fix that, and that's what I like about this. So there's obviously too much air hitting the elevator and weight dispersion and all that. I can go in and ease all of those forces off to give it a more natural feel. And it's class. Like, I mean, we have a way to control now with force feedback with profiles. Like, because prior to this, right, I mean, you go all the way back to like the Microsoft Sidewinder 2. That's the last time there was an affordable force feedback joystick, at least in my memory. And that's like,
I think that's correct. I think I have one somewhere.
And that's more than 20 years ago. You know? They were ancient. And I have some somewhere as well. It's probably acting as an axle stand or something, right? But there has been nothing on this level in terms of affordability before, since then. Because I don't even think Brunner did. I don't think Brunner ran with joysticks. They had the yoke. But even then you compared it to the yoke. I think the Brunner yokes are up around $2,000 of that. I mean, the MOZA yokes are for the yoke and the base. I mean, that's still sub £1,000, right? I mean, it's making all of this stuff accessible to us.
The AY210 base is about $700 US, $699 US, and the yoke handle is about $149, if I recall correctly, US.
Mm-hmm. And what's very exciting, and I know you can't say now, Jack, because I mean, I'm sure you guys you're probably still working on designing things, but there is a feature I absolutely adore about that yoke, because it just whispers possibilities. That yoke clips off. As in, the face of the yoke clips off just like a steering wheel. And we all know what happens with steering wheels. You can buy different types of steering wheels. So who knows what the future's going to hold there. I mean, there's definitely the potential to see different areas of that grow, just as there is for the different sticks now. I think MOZA offer, is this the third stick or the fourth stick available right now?
There's the MA3X, this grip here, which I don't think we're going to sell independently. I think it's only going to come with the AB6.
Yeah.
And then there's the MH16.
Okay. So like this, and like 3 there already, you know, which is awesome. Justin says, Murph, although it's right-handed, how comfortable is it to use with the left hand? It's I mean, you could
disregard. I lied. We are selling the MHD independently.
Oh, sweet. Okay. The problem with this stick left-handed means by its very nature, you're going to be pressing buttons whilst resting your hand. So there are other brands in which if you need a left-handed stick, just buy the stick. You can drop it onto the base, no problem. But I'm sure at some stage Moz will have a look at the left-handed side. But yeah, I'm very excited to see where this all goes, because everything, be it the yoke, be it the joystick, be it the base, the AB9 or the AB6, profiles are all part of the MOZA ecosystem. Just as they are on the MOZA racing ecosystem, they're very much present here on the MOZA flight. The software that runs, it's called MOZA Cockpit. It's quite intuitive. You can see when, you know, there's firmware updates. You connect everything directly into the sim and platforms that you're using. You have a ton of options then when it comes to changing the colors of the lights. You know, even the lights. I mean, since the last update, I saw there's rainbow colors if you want, right? So if you want the base just doing like, you know, rainbow colors, if you look at it there in the camera, you'll see a change in color. It's becoming very customized. And I think there was a question before, Zach, I don't know if it's something that can be added, but folks were asking, could we get individual button colors? But I'm sure that could be just a software tweak, perhaps down the line, that maybe the guys could have a look at.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I can talk to our product team about. I'm not sure if it's a planned feature at this time. But I could certainly see if I can get you an answer.
That'd be awesome. Can you get a left-handed base? No, I think the base is universal. Cyrus, are you taking the Dennis Hickey? No, because so the only difference on the base would be obviously the numbers on one side or the other. But I mean, this base will literally, I mean, I just have it on my right side, do you know? I use the Airbus right stick with my left hand. It's very comfy. Ah, okay. He is, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Come on, Cyrus. Thanks for that, yeah. Right. There's a guy who feels stupid right now. What's the warranty of the AB6 or AB9? Can't see it on the website. I'm sure we can go digging for that one. I don't know exactly, not off the top of your head.
I don't know the policy word for word, but if you go to our website, it's on there. I can paste it in chat.
Yeah. I'll go have a look for it as well. 24 months on the base. There we go. Look at it. I just can't wait to see the next kind of shenanigans we're going to be able to do with this. It's one thing having force feedback and the feel of aircraft. It's a different kettle of fish when, you know, if Zach goes out for a flight and he says, hey, I flew, this was the density, altitude, this is the pressure, this is how the plane felt. Do you think you can do the same? I mean, think of the opportunity you'd have of just setting up different challenges, of the training element. It's huge, and I can't wait to see more and more of this. And once folks start getting their, be it an AB9 or an AB6 delivered, it's going to be brilliant. Can you imagine the crack and the challenges? I can just see now, someone's going to make a profile that, you know, your arm would be just completely knackered after 10 minutes. Yeah, go on, try and land that. It's going to be brilliant, you know. Looking at the future, Zach, I mean, from the gear that MOZA had, from what we saw at Expo, because don't forget, I mean, there was a lot of awesome looking gear on display from MOZA. What was coming kind of straight away, what was kind of in the medium kind of range, and of course what was in the long range. I mean, we've seen everything there from, you know, from the yokes, from also components. There were screens I remember seeing there, this whole cockpit setup with multiple screens. Are things still progressing nicely? Probably well into next year now, I'd say, before anything else. But anything kind of on the horizon, or is it very much what we saw at Expo? This is all part of the kind of manufacturing process now.
Yeah, I gotta choose my words carefully here. Ideally, I can't share too much information. What I can say is, you know, we showed a lot of pre-release stuff at FS Expo. Obviously, that stuff is, those products are things that we intend to eventually bring to market. As for when and the final features and specifications and such, I can't really provide too much on that. But I do know, you know, I can say that, you know, there are additional products, you know, to expand and complete certain ecosystems coming to the market. But as for, like I said, final details and release dates and what those products are, I can't say too much about that.
That's okay. It'll be no news until we hear news. But certainly, I think in the meantime, if you can, right, the next time you're out flying, if you think of it, if you can create a profile and come back to us and join us, and maybe we can do a dual flight. And say, right, Murph, okay, this is what you did. This is what I did to land it. Now it's up to you. Because, and it could be in any aircraft, right? Because for me to learn any aircraft in the sim, about a week. And I mean, like, I'll learn it outright. Yeah. I can fly it in a day, but I'll learn it in a week. But with the profiles, I mean, even in the 172, you could give me a profile, I might be able to fly the plane, right? Or at least achieve what I'm trying to do. So I think that'd be a lot of fun to do some testing and trials on that as well.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you know. Sorry, give me 1 second. I had a thought for you, but it completely slipped my mind.
You're okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just responding to old veteran. He's like, can we get a second opinion on that? He doesn't believe that I'm a very good, you know, sim pilot. You know. Don't blame him.
So the next time that I know that I'm going flying is next Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
This weekend and week I'll be in Orlando for a conference, but next Saturday I'm doing Operation Good Cheer, which is a flying the arrow in that, and that should be fun. But that's a charity flying thing here in Michigan. Our Health and Human Services Department puts together a charity fly where people throughout the year buy Christmas gifts from a Christmas list, and then general aviation pilots from around the state pick them up from Papa Tango Kilo, Oakland County International Airport, and flying around the states to foster kids.
Oh wow!
So that's something I'll be doing next weekend. But I'll be flying the Arrow, and potentially, could have some fun stuff to come back and do from that.
Absolutely, it'd be great. It would be great to get the real world feel from different aircraft, and that's what I'm most looking forward to, because, as I said, I mean, from a flight training perspective, okay, with a stick, you might get better feedback from using the yoke. But even at that, there's this common misconception: when you're flying yoke, you rarely have both hands on the yoke. I mean, it's hand on throttle, hand on, So it's only if you're in shockingly bad turbulence that you want to be, So
I mean, even then in a general aviation plane, it's very rare. I mean, you typically, I mean, in the DC-3, occasionally they'll have two hands on the yoke, but in a training plane, you almost never have two hands on the yoke because you need to be working the throttle, and if winds are bad enough, you're gonna have to be ready to account for things like low-level wind shear and such. So hand always on the throttle, especially during a critical phase of flight.
Yeah, 100%. Right, well listen, Zach, I won't keep you, but thanks a million for joining us, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what we're going to throw next at this. As I say, the profiles are going to be a lot of fun, but also it's just getting ourselves into the tight spot now that we have force feedback up and running. So it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. And I need to try this now with that Quasar. How does it behave at Mach 7.8? But it'll be grand. It'll be grand.
Absolutely.
But Zach,
thanks for having me, Murph.
Not at all. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. And for anyone who doesn't know, Zach, or as we know him on Discord as Chunky Aviation, long-time flight simmer, creating air show teams, and involved in an absolute multitude of different projects. He's also looking after MOZA to North America, and he's pretty much our contact when it comes to all things MOZA, because, well, he's part of the flight sim community. So any questions you might have or any worries, by all means hit me up on Discord, and I'll be sure to get them over to Zach. And as Zach has said, he from time to time rambles from our in and out of our Discord as well. But dude, listen, thanks a million for taking the time, and looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, appreciate it. Looking forward to next time. Have a good one.
Sweet. Take care, everybody.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So, lads, there you kind of have it. The MOZA, I don't know if you've any other questions for it. It's a phenomenal bit of kit. I'm mad about it. I think it's great. And even the setup where I have it now, I mean, people were saying, it shakes quite a bit. Well, it does, because, I mean, it's literally on the only structured anchor point is on the desk at the front. The base is somewhat far back. But it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? It moves, but it doesn't move. It is solid on the base. There is no fear of that base moving away in you. You know what I mean? I've shaken the whole desk doing that. If there was feedback to give, as a user, I'd be saying, there's two clamp screws in behind it. And you lot slag me all the time about saying I've small hands. Your hands want to be smaller to be able to turn them because they're very close. But it's not impossible. And there's loads of mounting options with this. And there's enough screw holes on the bottom of the base. You can mount it onto anything. I've seen people use this sitting on a desk. Now, it'd be too high for me if it's on top of your desk. But you could do it, But you'd need to upgrade your desk. Yeah, well, you can dial things down low as well. And that's the thing, lads. I mean, you've full control over the force feedback. You can have it on very, very light, just giving you small little indications and kind of build it up from there. I've everything turned on full blast. Do you know? Will it fit in a wing flight stick mount? Will it fit on a wing flight stick mount? It probably would, Hermit, yeah. It probably would. But a wing joystick won't fit this, if that makes sense. Thrustmaster and Verpil, no problem. They'll all connect in. The other ones, forget it. Not going to do it. I'll turn off the gadget here now, look. Press and hold it. Right, it's off. If I show you this briefly, you'll see where that D-pin connection is. With the mount fit an 8cm desktop. 8cm desktop. Hang on. What does 8 centimeters look like? And don't turn around and say something funny. 8 centimeters. Jesus. Ooh, no, you'd be under pressure with 8 centimeters. So you're talking. It is 8 centimeters, but I think you'd be under pressure trying to get it to clamp around that. Like the internal space is slightly less. It's about 7. You know, like the desk I have it mounted to, that's the same thickness as your standard kitchen tabletop. Or tabletop. Muse fan, shag right off. And Cyrus T, you only came into the chat and you made a complete and utter ape out of me. Jay, oh yeah. What's it showing you? Oh yeah. So that's the connection underneath there, look. Can you see it? Right? So if that's the same connection that you have on the likes of your, Verpal or Thrustmaster, well then absolutely, yeah, it'll fit down on top of this. And a gear stick as well. I have a gear stick over here somewhere. It's in a drawer. I haven't used it yet. Where is that? It's in a drawer. But you can twist your gear stick on and then suddenly, before you know it, you've turned it into a height shifter. And like that gear stick attachment gadget, like it's $40 or something, you know? Totally worth it. Totally worth it, Cyrus. Brilliant. But that's kind of it, lads. Like as you can see, there's a lot of science behind it, but not much science when it's all set up. I mean, it's we've shown this video. We've done a full overview video. The stick that comes with it, it's plastic. It's a light plastic, but everything works. There's a ton of buttons, right? It's plastic, but it's not bad. Now, certainly if you have your own fancy one, well, then you can do that. Do you know what I mean? But, see how you get on with it. But anyway, listen, that was a very busy night, wasn't it? Flat out tonight, lads. And we got it all covered, even Klamath Falls, which we're here. Isn't this a gorgeous, gorgeous location? Briggsy, you've missed it. Indeed you have, you've missed it. Klamath Falls, we're going to do some of this flying up this neck of the woods soon on a live stream. And tomorrow, lads, join me from 1100 Zulu because tomorrow, lads, what we're doing, we're going to start the Nevergraph Academy together. So that's 1100 Zulu tomorrow. And then we have our Vatsim flight tomorrow night as we fly out of Cincinnati up to Chicago O'Hare on the Vatsim network. And then on Friday night, we have a group flight in Ecuador. It's all happening now. So I want to thank you all so very much indeed for rambling in, especially you, Cyrus. And I want to thank you all so much for joining us. The support tonight, lads, was absolutely bananas. And I want to say thank you very much indeed to our guests. We had Lord Frites with the incredible Quasar, which is now available from Flying Fries. We also showcased the A1 Skyraider that I didn't crash on takeoff. And that was over at Halfpenny in Wolverhampton. And then where else we went? iniBuilds Manchester looks absolutely magnifique. And then we were here at Klamath Falls, and a massive shout out to Zach, also known as Chunky Aviation, looking after us there from MOZA, answering some questions. So we'll definitely have Zach on the stream again soon, lads, because I want to be challenged with some real world profiles. So if you've any questions or comments or opinions to follow on with the stream, well, do be sure to catch us up over on our Discord, !Discord. I have that camera so long, we'll turn it off. But I want to say thank you all so very much indeed, and we'll catch you tomorrow at 1100 Zulu. Until then, you take care.
It's all right.
Hey, Rambog is here. Good to see you, man. Did I miss anyone else? Oh, Jesus, watch what you're doing, Murphy. Oh, no! The dreaded chat! I know! See what happens? Did you see it? Collider is here. You know. Ah, don't hit me with a frying pan! Oh, jeez! This is here! You just hit me with a frying pan!
She's making a noise!
Of course I made a noise! You hit me with a frying pan in my head!
Turn around!
Why would you hit me with a frying... Don't hit me again! Ah! Yes, it makes a noise! You're hitting me with a frying pan! Annalisa, did you put her up to that? Jesus, me head! Oh, who hit someone? I mean, come on! Who hit someone with a frying pan, for God's sake? Oh, very hollow sounding. What? What are you talking about? Hollow sounding. Hands. Is Mike Roch in the chat? Mike Roch? That's brilliant. Hey everybody! Is there a Mike Roch here? Is Mike Roch here? Think about it now, right? I'll sing it for you. Everybody's looking at my tight pants. He's got his tight pants. He's got his tight pants on. I'm actually not wearing tight pants at all. No, they're loosey-gooseys. Do you know, they're the in-house joggings or yoggings. I think it's a soft J. They're the in-house yoggings. Bags are all the rage. Yeah, thanks for that, lads. Well done. What a great start to the feckin' night. And we're already... Stop pressing the buttons! Right, that needs to go. You know, fat. But in fairness, though... Right, do you know, I mean, the posture, right? I'm talking about me, of course, right? But anyway, quick, before we're in trouble. No, I didn't do anything! I wasn't looking at anything! I was looking deep into her eyes. I was, because she was. No, her name tag was down on the... and a very bad eyesight. I had to lean right in. Oh, Jesus! Listen, the important thing is... it's to be warm next week. No cloud at all. Oh, Jesus.